gaming communities to showcase their passions in games. My name is Amber Cyper, and I will be your host tonight. And if you've got a passion project of your own, go to gamesdonequick.com/hotfix, scroll all the way to the bottom of the screen, and click the link to submit it to the show, whether that's grinding speedruns, learning and routing new categories, or breathing new life into a game in unconventional ways. Passion Project is the best place on Twitch to show the world what you love the most in speedrunning and gaming. Before we get started with the showcase that we have planned for tonight, I just want to remind everyone that GDQ's next all-women and femme speedrunning event, Frost Fatales 2025, will be live from March 9th, that starts on Sunday, to the 16th, benefiting the National Women's Law Center. Visit gamesdonequick.com/frame fatales for more information on the event, or use !FF in Twitch chat to check out the schedule. And also, if you'd like to support GDQ Hotfix, you can check out the 2024 Season 4 t-shirt over at theyeti.com/GDQ. You can see it on screen right now. It is delightful. It has Coop and all the show logos from Season 4. I love it, and I have one myself, and I recommend you do too. So, tonight on Passion Project, I am joined by the wonderful Garlic Dread and her fantastic commentators, Big Nono, Froob, and Pandemonium, as we fight off zombies on the streets of Kamurocho in Yakuza Dead Souls any percent category. Thank you all so much for being here with me tonight. How are you doing?
Hey y'all, this is Garlic. I am a Yakuza speedrunner. And obviously we're running Dead Souls here, which has become very quickly when I started running it, pretty much my main speed game. I do almost all categories of this game. It's a very fun game. And does anybody want to introduce themselves?
Apparently not.
No, it's fine. Whatever.
I was thinking we would go in order that we were listening.
Is an order?
I mean, you can go in voice chat, no, alphabetically.
What?
That's what I was
voice
thinking.
chat, alpha. Yeah, I was gonna say no. What?
But surely it should be.
Okay, sure. No. You know what? I'm the person who runs this game the least. Let's do me first. Fine. I'm Big Nono. I'm a Yakuza speedrunner. I speedrun many Yakuza games. Not this one, really. I've done like a couple of runs of this, but I'm just here for some reason. Hello, everyone. Yeah, that's me.
Hello, it's Froob again, with more commentary for Yakuza stuff, because I speedrun every Yakuza game, including this one, this is a wonderful game. We do genuinely hope you enjoy it. There'll be some very friendly natured ribbing of the video game for a good reason, and you'll see why. It's an experience, and it's a good one.
And hi, I am Panda. I also run this game. This is one of my favorite games and one of my favorite speedruns, so I hope you guys enjoy it tonight.
Yeah, so time will be when we pick the category, or the difficulty, which will be 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck, have fun.
Thank you.
Yay!
Woo!
So yeah, Yakuza Dead Souls is a spin-off in the series, third-person zombie shooter. And it's definitely an experience.
It's a game.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing because every this isn't the first time we do a hotfix run of this game. Every time we do a run of this game, it always we can't hold on the facade for even 2 minutes of taking this game seriously.
I was gonna say we are 25 seconds into this.
That may be a new record.
I promise we all love this game.
Genuinely we do, but you will see very quickly why most people don't know that this game exists. It is PS3 exclusive, and you'll also understand very quickly why it's not considered one of the better ones. But the speedrun is actually really tight.
Yeah.
I mean, a Garlic reached out to me earlier this week, mentioning that the community has a crash rule.
Yeah.
For this game.
We'll discuss that later, because it is actually gonna come up.
I imagine
this game crashes constantly.
That's pretty. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I do think it's actually cool the community has a crash rule around that, though.
We have it around several games. Unfortunately, we might need it for the new. We might need it for the new one.
What?
But as you can see, this is a third-person zombie shoot 'em up. If the movement looks a little crusty, it is. You have to move by holding L1 to strafe and then shoot. There is a aim down sight mode that you'll see as well in a little bit. But because this is a PS3 era Yakuza game, all the zombies actually have like 2 hits to go down. So in that tutorial, what Garlic is doing is Garlic is spreading out the damage over every zombie to make sure that they're all like hit at least once or twice. So that when we get through that tutorial, obviously they will go down in 1 hit. And one thing that's very important that is going to come up very soon is that your guns do not get automatically reloaded at the end of any fight or going over to a new chapter, which actually makes the routing and like the moment-to-moment stuff in this really cool.
Also, a bit of a localization detail here that I really like. In this localization, they didn't really translate the honorifics, so Hana doesn't call Akiyama Akiyama-san, she calls him Mr. A, which I think is very cute. It's like, it shows that they have a professional relationship, but it's still pretty friendly, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it feels really fitting.
Yeah, just quickly story-wise, you're probably wondering why are there zombies. We actually just very briefly see one zombie jumping out of like this random Tojo Yakuza office after having bitten some people, and this is going to turn out to be ground zero for the zombie infestation, as you'll see very quickly in the space of a couple of hours. Everything's gone a little wrong. So as per usual, typical Yakuza fashion, it's going to teach you literally everything. And as you can see, you have a kick option, which for now is the only melee option outside of using weapons. You've probably played a normal Yakuza game in the past and, you know, had really satisfying melee combat, being able to pick up items really easily. Yeah, ignore all that in this game.
That was actually good. We didn't need the couch.
Yeah, it's actually really hard to pick up that table.
I was gonna say, Garlic is making this look much easier than it is. Picking up the weapons and using them effectively is super janky. Also, I want to say that Garlic is selling herself kind of short here, because she's like, oh, I run all categories of this game. She actually has world record in all but one category. In Dead Souls difficulty category, Panda here has the world record, but Garlic has any percent, New Game Plus, and all sub-stories.
Yeah, I did some massive grinds on those categories.
When is Dead Souls difficulty?
I'm
asking the cursed question.
I do want to learn it, hopefully this year. I don't know when exactly, though.
It is. Dead Souls difficulty is hard. It is nasty. Panda's world record actually is no death, and that's outstanding. Like, that's actually amazing. So, coming up here, the game's gonna show us the aim down sights, and it's really hard for us to describe how awful it is to actually aim in this game.
Oh.
So they went very Resident Evil 4, but not quite as good.
He fell, too. Oh my god.
You know Resident Evil 4 being a good game? Imagine that except bad.
I can see it.
In typical Yakuza fashion, we get level ups and we get the ability to learn abilities. We have a very long list of abilities that we want to get through the run. We'll explain like what they do as we get them going through. The first one is just head tracking, which just tracks zombies' heads. Pretty simple. It's a pretty like effective way of like aiming down sights and tracking headshots for hopefully quick kills, but it doesn't lock on for too long because it's just the base version. And this is the wonderful randomness of Yakuza Dead Souls of zombies just randomly being in your way. And now, you'll fully understand why Garlic is doing things like pointing the camera down. This is a wonderful feature of Yakuza Dead Souls. Losing all the FPS.
Yep.
Yeah, that's gonna happen a lot, where the FPS just drops from not even 30 to basically 1.
It really does go down to single digits, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
And this is a very nice strat in here. Was it you who came up with this, Garlic, or was it Panda? It was one of you two, because it wasn't me.
I think it might have been Panda.
I don't know.
Essentially, there's like a couple of weapons here. On Dead Souls difficulty, every single zombie is hyper aggro, so they literally will all come at you the second they spawn in, so you don't have to worry about like knocking them down. But for obviously easy here, like being able to knock them down with that weapon is really nice, and then rolling kind of gets rid of your hitbox for a few frames, so it makes you a little easier to get past them. One thing we should also mention, especially in this room, aiming down sights is not just for show. Even though we drop the FPS a little bit here, you fire faster when you aim down sights. Don't know why that's a thing, but it is.
Yeah, and then there's going to be a zombie that's usually in the way. Sometimes he walks. Yeah, not this time. Sometimes he just randomly walks out of your way.
Yeah, we're gonna have another tutorial here. This is the heat snipe tutorial. It's basically your heat gauge, like in other Yakuza games. So Garlic was doing headshots to charge the heat snipe really quickly, and now we're gonna do the heat snipe. And since we're on easy, it's always circle, which is really cool and nice. It is not like that on Dead Souls difficulty.
Oh.
This is also one of the last Yakuza games where the speed of the QTEs depends on the difficulty. On Dead Souls difficulty, the QTEs in this game are ridiculous. You are not going to be able to hit them in time if you just rely on the actual visual cues.
Yeah, we basically pause buffer using the XMB button.
Yeah, I landed that QTE once on Dead Souls, and I consider that a genuine achievement.
It is.
Could I land that ever again? Nope. But yeah, it's like the QT marker as well on harder difficulties. It lies to you as well, because the time that you have is shorter than the actual like image of the QT itself because of the lag that the game has. So that's something as well that's just popped up. The high density polymer. That was an item drop from a zombie. On easy, I want to say you get more item drops in general. I might be wrong on that one. It feels like it. But the material drops that we will be getting, or Garlic will be getting over the run, they're going to be very, very important. We'll explain why, obviously, when they come up, but we're hoping to hopefully get a couple of extra drops from zombies. There's a couple ones that we would quite like. Unfortunately, high density polymer isn't one of them.
Yeah, I'll probably just sell it.
Yeah, we have a few like gun upgrade routes that are, I guess, optional. They're really nice if you can do them, but it's also really hard to get the drops for them, so...
That was Hasegawa. She's an NPC. She gives you a couple of missions that are going to be happening in the background. A couple of those missions are actually very important for this run. The one that's massively important is, we'll talk about it in a bit. This right here is an anime figure. Anyone like to explain the lore on the anime figures?
Yeah, we have Kamiyama in this game who loves anime, so you can sell him your anime figures and he gives you a lot of money for them.
Oh, who doesn't love anime?
He's based.
For real.
Very kawaii.
No.
And this is the problem with the PS3 XMB. If you accidentally hit the wrong button, you lose like 20 seconds.
Yeah, free time loss.
Free time.
It's so easy to mess up as well, because it's different compared to the XMB for the PS4 and PS5. Or, like, there isn't one for the PS5 for saving stuff, but it's different for PS4 games that it starts you off on, would you like to continue? Yes. Whereas this one, it's like, would you like to continue? No.
This
So
is
this is another tutorial on equipping weapons. There, it's done. We did it. What were you gonna say? No.
Oh, just that this is especially great if you run one of the two games we actually run in Japanese, because then you have if you hit the wrong option, you have no idea what to do. Like you might as well reset at that point.
And the best part is with those games, because they're the Japanese versions, confirm in those games in-game is obviously circle, but the XMB differs back to the region of your PS3, so it goes back to X.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is really fun for me because I have a Japanese Super Slim, so when I run this game, it's the other way around.
Oh.
Beautiful.
So this is another heat snipe tutorial. This is the co-op heat snipe, which we're gonna do with our partner here, Nagahama. It's really dramatic. He throws grenades and we're gonna shoot them. This is the only time you'll see this. Unfortunately, heat snipes are very slow in this game, so we do them very sparingly.
Yeah, this is an interesting balance that they went back and forth with since the first Yakuzas, where in some of the games heat move animations are very quick and they do good damage, and then you really want to use them, and then with time they reach a weird kind of equilibrium between how long the animations are and how useful the moves actually are.
So this is the first mutant. We'll probably call it Special Infected quite often because there's definitely no relation to, I don't know, a certain Valve game. That was a meathead, definitely not a tank. Its weak spot is the head, like, you know, definitely not like the tank. Moves slowly, punches hard. The mutants themselves actually always drop an item on death. Those items can either be a normal common item, which is actually what we want in the speedrun, or it can be like an item that's exclusive to each of the actual mutants themselves, like the meathead belt or the crybaby beret, which they're good for the final upgrade tier of weapons, but we just don't get that far in any percent for any of that to matter. So ideally, we just want the common stuff.
So we just entered Subterranea, which you need a light. It has a mechanic where you have a battery, and when it runs out, your flashlight will go out. You can still kind of see anyway, but yeah, this is pretty much all we don't do Subterranea in any of the runs, basically, so this is basically all you'll see for the most part.
Yeah, this is like a procedurally generated set of dungeons that you can partake in if you're extremely bored. It also unlocks the secret boss in this game, the Amon fight. But yeah, it's not a sub-story, you don't need it for any of the new game runs, so it's just always skipped. And thankfully, on the mandatory Subterranea sections, the structure is always the same, so we always know where to go.
Meanwhile, we passed by what was definitely not a witch.
Yep,
Oh,
you're
yeah,
getting it. You're getting it already. Full understanding. Perfect. So one cool thing that happened during that last little bit there, you'll have seen on the left-hand side, kill 50 enemies without getting hit. That's one of those missions, Hasegawa, and the no-hit missions themselves, those are the ones. Those are the important ones that will get you the most points. With the first character here, Akiyama. Akiyama's part is a little tricky to no-hit, so usually you'll take a hit here and there. But character number 2, especially their start, is very, very nice to be able to get through no-hit. So if you're missing like your no-hit achievements on obviously this run, you have plenty of time to pick them back up because we aren't going to need these points until the third character appears.
I still love the you said this the other day, the person who tried to gaslight you that this came out before Left 4 Dead.
Yep. Yep. Someone once said in my chat that this game predated Left 4 Dead. Now, it predates Left 4 Dead 2, but the tank and witch were definitely around before then. Also, importantly, story-wise here, Akiyama's secretary Hannah is feeling very sick. She's still in the infected zone. So you're supposed to go to Dokimoto's, but you'll notice the garlic actually went here instead. This is Kamiyama, long-term, obviously, fan favorite and veteran of the series. He's actually in 2 places on the map at once. This way is the quicker way.
Wait, Left 4 Dead 2 definitely came out before this, though, because Left 4 Dead 2
Oh, yeah.
released
Years
in 2009. Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, November 17th, 2009 was the initial release date of Left 4 Dead 2.
I've been double lied to.
Yeah, it was complete fake news. Absolutely.
I'm upset.
And all this does is make me want to play, like, Resident Evil 4 or actually Left 4 Dead 2. Although, like, I have a question to ask, because, like, when we've been running through the streets and running through the different sections, like the subterranean section and everything, I've noticed a very strange camera angle of just mostly looking at the ground. Is that
yeah,
is
we
that
love
intentional?
the ground. Yes.
Okay.
We are trying to save
the floor
frames.
textures are really
what
good.
what little frames we have, we were trying.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It makes sense because like Pokemon Snap on the N64 does a very similar thing of looking up at the sky or looking down at the tracks just to avoid loading things around you because it causes a ton of lag. So I figured it was the same case, but I was hoping it was just that and not the game just makes you look at the ground when you're running.
That is actually a thing in this game. I don't think we talked about it, but in Yakuza 4 for some reason, and in this game because it's basically Yakuza 4, whenever you're on the map and you're looking down, the pedestrians will just not spawn as long as you're looking down.
Yeah.
That's any PS3 Yakuza. I guess
any
we're
PS3. Nice.
yes. I guess we're going to talk about the cursed timing of Yakuza Dead Souls because this is a good segue to go into it real quick before this bit. This is just showing you how to get back into the infected zone. You're forced to go to a certain area, and there will be a fixed anime figure drop that Garlic will be grabbing, I believe.
Yeah.
But yeah, so cursed Yakuza Dead Souls timing. Panning the camera down to the ground saves you 10 minutes over the entire run. I'm not joking about that. That's how much frame drops happen in this game. This game on a OG PS3 with a HDD, disc is digital is faster than the disc version by 15 minutes. Changing your hard drive from a HDD to an SSD is an extra 20 minutes time save. And then also going to Super Slim, I believe you said Garlic was like 3 to 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Welcome to the cursed world of Dead Souls speedrunning.
Yeah, no, that is very cursed.
And the extra cursed bit of that is that this game actually has an option on the disc to install it into your hard drive, and it's still faster to just have the digital version, even if you do that.
Yep.
Yeah, cursed is the best way to describe this game. Cursed in the best way. We still love it.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can probably see why we love it. It has charm. Not necessarily the right charm.
Charming run so far.
It's extremely charming game.
Did we mention the weapon purchase stuff?
No, so when we were in Kamiyama's truck, we Garlic sold all her weapons basically, and we bought the rifle and some ammo to go with it, and a thing of grenades. We're basically only going to use the rifle for this section, and that is mainly for the final boss for Akiyama.
Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate using a rifle at point blank. Why not?
It's really good because it has like really good piercing power. Like to be able to like hit another zombie behind like the first zombie. There's a really weird but interesting effect in this game, and it's actually something that can be a problem in the speedrun, where if you headshot a zombie, there is a small AoE around the zombie that you headshot that knocks down all the other zombies around it. Now, on harder difficulties like, Dead Souls difficulty, that can be a boon in certain places. When we have certain areas that we have to clear out a certain amount of zombies, that's a pain in the backside.
Yeah, it's actually very common in Yakuza games, the brawler ones as well, where you actually don't want to knock enemies down because all your most effective DPS is for enemies standing up. So, yeah, you want to actually do stuff that keeps enemies standing up as much as you can.
Yeah, and another thing to add about the rifle, when you aim down sights, it becomes really cursed because whenever you aim down sights for another weapon, it's extremely slow. Like aiming down or aiming left and right or even up is really slow. When you aim down sights with a rifle, it suddenly is Sonic. And it's very erratic and really hard to control. And you'll get to see that very soon.
Yeah, it can be really hard to aim.
Like again, we keep like sounding like we dislike this game. We do genuinely love this game. It's just you accept its flaws. If you accept this game's flaws, you will turn to love this game.
Yeah, we just know too much about
Look,
this
if
game.
you don't complain when people make fun of The Room, you shouldn't complain when people make fun of Dead Souls. That's all I'm going to say about that. And we just glossed over one of the most important characters in this game, Gary Buster Holmes. I love this man.
Yes.
He is now our boot camp leader. He's going to teach us how to shoot and use the gun, and we are going to unfortunately ignore this man. And he's going to have something to say about that.
Gary, what do you think about Dead Souls?
Bad. Love Gary so much. Absolute legend of the series. That is unironically the very first place that I ever tried to skip a minigame and would then subsequently go on to make us realize, oh, we can skip minigames in Yakuza games.
Wait,
so
really?
You want to know why we don't do karaoke and speedruns? It's Fruit's fault.
You're welcome. Someone was going to figure it out eventually, but this was the very first Yakuza game I ever speedran. And I got to that bit like 30 seconds behind, and I was like, alright, I've had enough of this run. Went to quit back to the main menu by pressing select in the tutorial, and then all of a sudden Gary says bad to me. And the game's carrying on. And I'm just like, oh.
Oh, cool. I just found a time save.
Yup. Unfortunately, that had bad implications for the rest of the series.
Yeah.
It's okay, we gotta save the frames.
Gotta save Gary. As Big Dono mentioned earlier, this is another instance of the Subterranea where the layout is completely fixed. There's going to be a really annoying meathead up here that can be in the way. If they are in the way, which where he's going today, you can just dodge out the way if he's in the way.
Let me
He
go
takes the day off.
He's also coming on the run. He's just coming down here to get to the exit as well.
Yeah, sometimes he just doesn't react to you and just chills there. He's just vibing.
75 hits here, or 75 kills here, that being hit is very nice.
I mean, honestly, when you were describing, like, there's this annoying meathead in the way, and I'm like, isn't that what most meatheads do? It's like, and then that one was just vibing, which is also what meatheads do. So, like, you know what? Fair enough.
Lore accurate.
Yeah, some of these small alleyways can be really annoying to try and get past zombies. You'll notice that at points like here, the Garlic will change weapons.
Oh, they were actually chill too.
Yeah, these
Nice.
two guys usually will just run out. I like to use the pistols, or you saw Garlic use the pistols, because if you hit them with the pistols, they will get stunned for like a very slight amount of time, just enough for you to get past.
Getting knocked down by furniture like that, Panda came up with the term "getting IKEA'd" for that in this game, and we've just
I don't
been
know
using
why-
it
I
for
don't
a
know
lot
why.
of games
Don't-
ever since.
Don't ask me why I said that, but that's what happened, and it stuck.
So you
I mean,
got to...
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. No, go on.
I was just gonna make a wisecrack about how you flipped over, like doing a somersault upon having furniture hit you in the ankles from behind.
Yeah. Yeah, Yakuza protagonists are made out of paper. You think looking at them that they, would take a whole bunch of punches, but no, you get a small shopping cart hit you in the leg, that's it, they're out forever. Like, half your HP bar lost, all gone.
Oh my god.
But in terms of this little, kind of room here, this is obviously Serena. That little room is your first instance where sometimes the game will give you stronger zombies. So the first zombie went down, thankfully, really quickly. They can be the one that's a little stronger, where if you headshot them, obviously, they won't go down instantly to the headshot. The nice thing is if the first zombie, like Garlic had there, is the one that goes down, is the weak one and goes down in one hit, the AoE effect from the headshot will knock down the other one, and it's just easy to shoot the one on the floor.
Again, this is a Resident Evil game. Zombies have variable health.
I've been noticing Garlic's been somersaulting or rolling into what would be like cutscene or tutorial triggers. Is that to get farther along before the game stops you?
So rolling is actually faster. So if you really want a curse run, you could roll the entire time, but yeah. I'd like
Wait,
to-
really?
No, I'm serious. I'm absolutely serious.
Oh, so all records
I'm
in
not
this game are
kidding.
free is what you're telling me.
If you roll, sure.
The only issue
The only
is obviously you
downside to
can't
that
do,
is like the rolling is very chaotic.
Yeah, and cancels any other animation, so you can't fire your gun. This is like a tutorial where you're supposed to use the gun emplacement. As you can see, Garlic's doing a wonderful job of not doing that.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun little things you can use in this game to kill zombies. There's like baseball machines, there's mortars, and they're kind of funny to do casually, but they're very slow. You don't ever use them in a speedrun.
Yeah, it's a genuine shame. They actually had some
Yeah.
really good ideas.
This is what we bought the grenades for those, there's like 30 zombies in a pile down there.
Getting a lot of scrap iron.
Those barricades. Just like two little pistols just shooting down entire walls of scrap iron. Like, why not?
You would think that the sniper rifle would be better, but no, the pistols fire faster, so you
Yeah.
want to use the pistols. You think the rifle could just take them out in one shot, but I think it's like 3 or 4.
It's a lot slower.
Yeah. And you can see even with the camera like pointed down in certain parts, you're still dropping a lot of frames. So just imagine this if the camera wasn't panned down.
Someone in chat says, Yakuza characters are built different, but Yakuza furniture is built even more different.
Yep.
It really is.
Very.
You'll see it
You have
spinning.
no idea how true that is looking at some other Yakuza runs.
It's true.
I've surfed on furniture. I've seen zombies surfing on furniture. I've seen furniture just spinning for no reason.
There's a specific move you can do in Yakuza 0 with furniture that one-shots several mini-bosses. It's actually
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Love Breaker so much. So, the drop that Garlic just got was a block of steel. That's one of the drops we're after.
You love to see it.
Yeah, we're gonna need about 6 of them.
Yep. The meathead can have either a block of steel or a belt, and there's actually surprisingly, like, not that many meatheads after this bit that will be in the way that we take down. They'll certainly be around and in the way, but not, that we have to take care of. That meathead before in the corridor, you can sneak by it on Dead Cells difficulty a bit easier because it's more aggressive and running towards you.
Camera getting a little weird there.
I guess something we have not explained yet is the more advanced zombies, which you would call the special infected in Left 4 Dead. In this game, they're called mutants. And every mutant can drop, they have a common drop and an uncommon drop. And typically we want the common ones, because those are the ones that are actually viable for some of the upgrades we need. But, in true game RNG fashion, very often you'll keep getting the uncommon ones, which you have nothing you can do with.
Yeah. So, we're gonna tell Nagahama to follow us here. And hopefully he does that. Sometimes he gets a bit stuck. But, yeah. We haven't actually talked about the partner system. The partner system in this game is actually very good. Nagahama here being the exception. But thankfully, this is the last time we have to deal with him. But I promise you the rest of the partners are actually good. But we don't...
I love that just as he said it, he was grinding against the wall, just like...
Yeah, it's like my man out here caught on a corner.
Help me prove my point.
If you want a fun fact about how cursed this game is to speedrun, that room right there that Garlic went through, you need Nagahama to get there for the cutscene trigger. Fun fact, if he is standing and not knocked down in, to incapacitated form in Dead Cells difficulty, he will automatically path, even if you clear out all the zombies, into a specific corner of the room and get infinitely stuck. Even if you get him knocked down again and get him back up, he will still keep walking that corner. You have to go into that room with Nagahama knocked out in Dead Cells difficulty.
Yeah, because you can't direct him for some reason on Dead Cells difficulty in that room. You have to do it in the room before.
I don't want anyone to say that they've not balanced Dead Souls difficulty before releasing this game. That would be slander. We will definitely not see more examples of that coming up.
It's very balanced and fair. I don't know what anyone would complain about.
There's definitely not rooms that can just stun lock you infinitely. Definitely not.
I definitely don't have a clip of me being stun locked for a minute.
Oh my god.
The Dead Souls days.
That run is a
okay, he is wearing glasses. I was like, does he just have
Yeah.
black holes where his eyes
he
are
has
supposed to be?
He's the dude who introduced you to the subterranean.
He looked like Metal Gear Solid Hideo Kojima eyes there. Like oh my god, like the shadows for eyes, no actual texture.
Mr. Kojima.
Yeah, that is Kaine. He basically he introduces you to the actual subterranean thing, the part that's procedurally generated, that we don't do. So we just go hi-bye.
There is a strat, which Garlic tried to do, they've actually got a good headshot, that you can do with this monkey boy here, and we use it on Dead Cells difficulty because, again, everything being hyper aggro, where you can use the kick, the really hard to aim kick, and if you hit the monkey boy, it'll go on the floor. Easy shooting at that point.
Is that, I assume it's not a special infected, but I'm just going to ask, is that a special infected because it had big hunter vibes?
Yes.
Yeah.
It jumps you, it grabs you, it holds on to you.
I love that we said all these names yesterday in our practice run, and it just shows you that you can tell all the inspirations for all these right away without us even saying anything about them.
But yeah, it's either hunter or jockey. There was no in between there, or maybe it's both.
A little
The
of both.
fact that you knew the
keep that in
witch-
mind because there's a big one coming up.
The fact that you knew that the crybaby was the witch instantly without any of us saying anything is just, yeah, no, perfect.
Oh, it wears its inspiration on its sleeve. There is no way. I played a lot of Left 4 Dead 2 co-op with friends, around the years it came out. You can't hide that from me.
So something really cool that happened that you saw there. Even though zombies aren't fully like spawned in with their models, their hitbox is. So Garlic knows to be able to shoot the zombies as they're falling down like the little vent shaft in the corner. And then by using the chainsaw and using the dash of the chainsaw, you can actually quite quickly take care of mutants here. And you can actually push like some of the furniture on the floor, like the doors. And if it actually... Is he leaving again?
Yeah.
It's all the way over here.
He wants no part of this, and who can blame him, really? By the way, this usage of the saw, that's something that a runner by the name of Meta came up with for routing specifically Dead Souls difficulty. A lot of strats that Meta came up with for high difficulty are actually used in the any % run as well. And I think it's always worth trying to route multiple categories for a run, because you really just learn a lot about the game, and things kind of cross-pollinate like that.
Yeah, like for all sub-stories, we use the chainsaw for dashing and distance in like very few parts because it just goes quite long and is quite fast. We don't get to do that much here. Sorry, Panda.
This is our first prototype zombie. They're basically going to be the bosses of the game. This is Akiyama's final boss. This is the Arahabaki. He is a guy.
He's our legally distinct liquor.
Yeah,
We're gonna-
he's definitely not a liquor.
We're gonna play a game with chat for every single boss fight of try to guess where the weak spot is, because you'll never guess where it is.
No, do you want to share your trivia with us about the Arahabaki?
I could, I guess. So back a while ago when I played this game for the first time, me, Panda, and a friend of ours, Dr. T, we did a spoiler cast about Dead Souls, and I actually checked the origins for the names of all the bosses
Oh my
in the
God.
game. Oh no, that's
You hit the
really
weak spot. You've got it.
There you go.
Let's
You got
go.
it.
That just shows you how cracked Garlic is at this game, that you could hit that
true.
without even seeing it.
Yep.
It's like rubber tree plant. Who cares?
But yeah, basically you'll notice that all the bosses in this game are named after ancient gods or yokai, stuff from Japanese folklore and religion. This guy, the Arabaki, that was the name of an old god of strength pre-Shintoism. And there's a lot of really interesting ones coming up in the rest of the game.
That was very good. Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah,
So
one
that-
thing I wanted to say is that if you were looking at that fight and like you were just sitting there like, streamer, why can't you aim the rifle? It is incredibly hard to aim the rifle in this game. Like it just goes, it's off the rails. I don't know how else to describe it. It's just insane. It's super quick.
So
In the original Resident Evil 4, Leon has, like, when you hold aim for a while, he slowly drifts. This looks like that on some sort of stimulants.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's crazy.
So the reasons why that boss fight was really cool by Garlic is because of the fact that one hitting that weak spot is almost impossible at the best of times because the hitbox is so small and the hitbox for the legs is actually bigger than the hitbox for the weak spot. So being able to get that through the plant is also equally as impressive, but also the fight has a second phase, which we like to call whack-a-mole, because the boss goes into the ceiling, then comes out of one of the holes, and you have to play whack-a-mole with it. But Garlic was able to obviously get past whack-a-mole phase by hitting that weak spot so perfectly, like multiple times in a row. Most people will know this guy. This guy's a pirate. He's got a shotgun. Every character, I don't think we mentioned yet, has a unique weapon. Maximus is a shotgun. Akiyama gets the kind of short end of the stick because he gets the two pistols. This is a millionaire zombie, which is a rarer zombie. They drop stuff. We're looking for super hard aluminium alloy. Oh, here we go!
So
I mean-
what that is basically we need 2 of those, and we can upgrade Kiryu's material rifle at the end. Getting those to drop though is like a whole nother thing entirely.
Yeah, I think, Garlic, you said you weren't gonna go for it anyway, or...
I
you
wasn't
changed your
trying
mind?
to, but if I get the second one, maybe it's worth trying.
So the awkward thing about this bit on Dead Cells difficulty is you start with one, like, clip of slugs. Like, just the one. Now, what Garlic is doing, and is going to be doing for, like, especially a lot of this, especially the first room, because of the whole headshot knocking down zombies thing, we know for a lot of these rooms how many zombies are needed to be taken out before we can actually continue. So Garlic knows, for example, that the first room is 15 zombies. So Garlic knew the second that 13 kills appeared on the screen and all the zombies are on the ground, Garlic knew there are zombies on the ground to kill.
Also, I guess we didn't really say this explicitly, but this is another one of those multi-protagonist Yakuza games. This was big in the PS3 era. And this is actually the first time in the series that you could play as Majima. And the way the game works with the multi-protagonist thing is really interesting because, like Froob said, every character has his own unique weapon, so there is some uniqueness to them. But your level ups and your abilities all carry over. So it's a really nice balance between making them feel distinct and also not feeling like you reset your progression every time you switch characters.
Camera is having
Yeah,
a
the
fun time
camera.
tonight.
Doing things.
Yeah.
So
There's
basically
gonna
all we're
be-
doing... Oh,
Okay,
go ahead.
Go on. No, go on.
I was gonna say, basically all we're doing here is we are exiting the Millennium Tower, so we're just making our way there.
I wanted to answer somebody in chat who says, why don't we skip scenes? This is a PS3 era Yakuza game, so the only skippable scenes are CG cutscenes. We are very spoiled with Yakuza speedrunning with the Dragon Engine, where literally 95% of any cutscene is skippable. But as you'll see here, Garlic's actually, like, yeah, are you holding start or are you pressing start?
It's a little of both. Sometimes you can hold it, and some scenes it doesn't work and you have to mash.
Perfect.
I'm sorry, I'm confused. I thought we were just enjoying the story. What?
I mean, Dead Cells has a actual genuine, like, it's very tropey to horror stuff at times, but it plays it very well, and it actually has some really cool, unique stuff to the story.
Yeah, so story-wise, we're supposed to be going to Kamurocho Hills, because I think they were doing, like, basically opening it today, is what was supposed to happen. But, yeah, zombies had other plans. And yeah, Majima was supposed to already be there, and he's late, so, you know.
Typical, yeah, Majima fashion.
Just like me, for real, for real.
So the millionaire zombies do turn up earlier. You can actually get them in the free roam sections at specific areas for each of the characters. Akiyama's is actually in that little park in the area just before Garlic went down the small alleyway that we mentioned earlier. For Majima, the first one that turns up is the one that we first see in the run, and then there's one right outside of here as well. You only run into, like, on the route, 4 of them, which is why we're a little... You kind of need to get, yeah, like, the super hard aluminium alloy really early. They can drop multiple things. You saw it drop the anime figure there. It can drop healing items as well. They all sell for at least 50,000, so they're all at least worth good money. But if you're going for that, like, Kiryu weapon upgrade at the very end, it's not easy to get. And now for a new boss, which again, let's play Where is the Weak Spot? We call this guy the FPS Killer for reasons that you're going to see very soon.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, this is the Onraki. This is our second prototype. But yeah, as you can see, Garlic is looking down, again, not at the boss. We can try to save our frames, because this guy... You see, every time she shoots him, you get a little puff of smoke. That smoke really tanks the FPS, so as much as we can, we're gonna look down, but when we get to this part where you can see his weak spot now, we need to look at him to shoot it.
Yeah.
So Garlic got some really nice hits there. The shotgun works really weirdly in this game. You would think you'd want to be up close to do more damage. No, you want to be at, like, an almost perfect distance away so that 2 of the pellets from the slug will actually hit the weak spot so that it does more damage.
Yeah, I was joking one day telling No that the cone for the shotgun in this game is diamond shaped. Like it goes out and then it goes back in to all hit the weak spot if you're far away.
Yeah, like, if you compared the damage that Garlic did in the first phase with the crit shots, you'll hear, like, a sound of glass breaking, that's, like, a confirmed crit shot, compared to, like, just then. Watch this damage now compared to just then. See how it's, like, not quite as full as the first phase?
Very unfair of the game to do, by the way.
Yup. Oh, yes.
Yeah,
was, like,
I wasn't aware we
away
were
and
going to see
throwing
a
it.
sideways yeet in the run.
Yeah, he's getting the other car.
Now, the nice thing is, these cars don't exist. Yes, the car just hit Garlic and exploded. Trust me on that. Look at this.
Yeah, you can shoot through them because reasons. And yeah, he's very dramatic, as you can see.
He's just sleeping, he's fine.
Yeah, he'll be back later, don't worry.
I actually believe that. I've never seen a full playthrough of this game, but I actually believe that.
So this is Majima on the phone getting chewed out for being late.
I'm just like, whatever. I'll be there.
Objective here is just head northwest, but you can't go straight northwest. You have to go west, then north, then slightly east, then north, then west, then north.
Oh yeah, this was the most annoying part in all sub-stories. Like having to go this way, this long way around.
Yeah, one of the unique things about this game with all sub-stories is you have to the map changes for each character, so you have to memorize the map for each character.
And how many characters are there?
4.
Oh.
But the map is pretty big.
Yeah.
One of the cool things is that it also changes the quarantine zone as well, which is the outside infected part. The downside is it doesn't move the taxi spots, so at some point it just removes all the other taxis.
Yeah, you just lose the taxis. Also that, we saw the aggro there, that was one of the other mutant zombies. He's a chill dude. He just listens to music and vibes, but if you get too close, then he gets zingy.
He gets mad when you bump into him and interrupt him listening to Disturbed on his headphones.
Yeah. They are very quick, and we want to avoid them as much as possible.
But yeah, the quarantine zone mechanic is actually very interesting in this game. We don't get to see it in any %. But there's this whole mechanic where you can go into the quarantine zone and you can liberate stores or businesses that are, or mobbed by zombies. It's a really cool touch. They really tried to do something with this.
I was like mashing start and it wasn't skipping.
I was also going to say, if you look at the mini-map in the bottom left real quick, you're going to see one of the things that you should praise Dead Souls for. It was the very first game in the entire series to put actual markers on the mini-map for sub-stories. We will very much praise Yakuza Dead Souls where it does deserve its praise. Which ain't exactly that
Not
often.
Yeah.
Garlic's also going to be running a specific way here and not under the awning of the Millennium Tower to the right because there is a hostess there. The hostesses in this game are just all over the place, and if you get close, you just have to waste time with cutscenes and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's like a legit 40-second time loss.
Someone had mentioned in chat that they really want to see this game get a remake or at least an HD remaster treatment, and I could see that. Like, it looks like it has charm. Like, I feel like a lot of its limitations do stem from it being trapped on the PS3.
Yeah.
And not the Dragon engine.
Garlic's doing a fantastic job of not making the controls look like they are an absolute horrific mess. Because they are.
Yeah, because they are.
Yeah, you might think that this game has, because this came out in 2011, so you think this has modern twin analog stick controls. It does not. Like we said, it kind of controls a lot more like Resident Evil 4. The game does offer you, I think, 3 different control schemes, and somehow all of them are the worst control scheme you could possibly have for a game like this.
Yeah, they're all bad.
No good controls for this.
So is this basically pseudo, almost over-the-shoulder tank controls like old Resident Evil 4 was?
I feel like
When
it's
you-
even worse.
Yeah. Ooh, you got the second. Nice. It's like you have to like you can obviously do movement and shooting here, as you can see, like the Garlic is doing, with just like pressing R1. But the strafing stuff does kind of lock you to tank like control movement, and then obviously when aiming down sights, you can't move at all. Isn't like I keep forgetting the aiming is on the actual left stick when aiming down sight, isn't it? I never really. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
I love
It's
that
one of those
none of
things
us
you don't
know,
think about.
including
Yeah.
the person currently playing the game.
Like I had to think for a second because I was like, it is right. We should
Another
also mention just very
go ahead.
briefly the crawling zombies like that on the floor. They actually will die over time. So like you can see the Garlic has ignored this one and is going to ignore that one. You see, it just rolled over and just went to sleep.
There we go.
Yeah, I was just gonna add that one of the cool things about Majima is when you're strafing, if you go to roll, he will do an aerial, which is really nice because he ends up still facing the way you're oriented. Any of the other characters, whenever you roll, you lose whichever way you're aiming and you have to basically re-aim, which is a huge time waste.
Yeah, he's got that good unique dodge.
Also, we are about to enter Kamurocho Hills. This is the only game where you can run around Kamurocho Hills and not be in a fist fight, basically. Like, you can actually, right in this part here, just kind of chill and look around.
Genuinely nice. It's so weird that no other game, like obviously you have set pieces in Kamurocho Hills and like especially like Yakuza 5 after this, but like it's so weird you just can't explore Kamurocho Hills. Obviously there's not much here in this game because everything's been destroyed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the waypoint we're going to was actually right by like where we exited the like escalator there, but they make us go all the way around this long hallway.
There's like two
Majima can't
tables in the
possibly
way.
go over that. He can't
Yeah.
possibly go over that. He can do aerials, but no. Aerials
I mean-
while shooting a shotgun, but he can't climb 2 tables.
I mean
we're going
Majima,
by-
he's not gonna be, he's not gonna mess up any of the barricades that the Tojo clan have made or the pedestrians have made, right? The Tojo clan wouldn't go around and do something like that, would they? Hey, Daigo.
No, they're very smart.
This is actually what Froob's alluding to is actually one of my favorite cutscenes in the entire series because zombies mob Kamurocho Hills and some Tojo clan members try to come in and help, but they inadvertently just open up the barricade and let them all in. And in response, Majima explains the entire appeal of the Yakuza series, which he says, "The Tojo clan is full of idiots. I love them."
To fully explain how they break through this barricade, by the way, they drive a truck into it. Like, high speed, no explanation needed. Just here comes the truck, the Tojo clan guys get out and just say, hey boss, we're here. Yep.
To be fair, who do you think they learned it from, though? Majima totally never did that.
Yeah.
He's a bad influence. But we love him.
So this is the Baby Rage section. Never guess why we called it Baby Rage. Garlic is going to be taking care of all the zombies in this area because these are the ones that have to go down for progression. Unfortunately, the zombies from the previous parts can walk forward, including the other monkey boy, but obviously Garlic is focusing on the monkey boy to be able to get rid of them early, and hopefully the game doesn't crash. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. It has done a crash here before. Alright, we're good.
No crash. Nice. Woo. There's basically several parts where we are expecting the game to potentially crash. So that's like not the earliest, but one of the earliest. This part as well, Garlic's just gonna have to take care of every single zombie. But this is the reason why we have the crash rule, especially for Dead Souls. The game is so unstable with these crashes that they can and like sometimes will or won't happen, that we just have a rule that's like between chapters, because you get obviously the save prompt, you can just relaunch your entire PS3 if you want. It's actually necessary for this game. there is one crash in particular that is putridly evil. We'll talk about that when we get to the end of the game.
Rather than speak it into existence. Consistence too, actually.
No consistency in this game.
Yeah, there's no consistency in this game.
But no, I do think it is genuinely really cool to not penalize runners for things that are outside of their control. Like RNG is one thing, but like literal crashes because a game is very unstable and has not been patched or won't be patched or anything like that, I think that is really cool of the community to do from an accessibility standpoint.
Yeah.
And actually something. Ooh.
Yeah, when I was grinding Dead Souls difficulty, I sent Proof a message and I was like, hey, can we add a crash rule because I can't make it through this part anymore without my PS3 exploding.
And having run this game for like 7 years, I was like, yes. Just straight up.
Said, this actually was inspired by another Yakuza game, by Yakuza Kiwami 2, which on PC, this is the weirdest crash. On PC, Yakuza Kiwami 2, if you have a CPU with more than 4 cores, I think, it will crash after like an hour and a half, something like that.
Yeah.
Consistently. And, you know, modern CPUs will all crash it. So we made a crash rule for that, and since then it's been applied to this game. Maybe it will be applied to the new Yakuza as well.
Yeah, I don't like the PS Cala as that sounded wrong. I love PS Cala, they're great. I don't like the PS Cala has also reported today that their game crashed after 2 hours on the dot. That's concerning.
Oh,
That's very concerning. Sega actually tweeted that they're aware of it today, thankfully, so hopefully they can find the issue. But what I was gonna say, in the cursed world of Yakuza speedrunning, no, I've forgotten it, never mind. The barricade, look at the barricade's HP, notice that it's gone down. Garlick's gonna look at it in a second, and you'll see the zombie that's actually been hitting this barricade. They don't exist. If you move away from the barricade's health goes down.
Yeah, if you go down like 2 steps, it just starts losing health.
Daigo's supposed to be fixing that, by the way. Thanks, Daigo.
Yeah, the game basically wants you to camp the barricade.
And as you can see from this bit, this is the absolute perfect bit to get those no-hit like kills back up if you like drop that ratio. It's a lot harder on Yakuza Dead Souls difficulty because, again, every single zombie is so aggro that they just rush you. And some rush the barricade.
Yeah.
It should be said the barricade is an instant game over. One of the first things I tested with this game was to shoot the barricade. Unsurprisingly, we got a game over. Very upset that it just didn't make us go faster. Because this ain't the last time you'll be seeing Garlic standing around for a timer in this game.
Which the timer is tied to the FPS. Because, yay.
Yep.
So every time it drops, you lose even more time.
Another reason as to why the camera gets pointed down quite a lot. So you'll see this is the return of the Arahabaki with
he's spicy today.
Yeah, he is. He's very aggressive today. He has one new trick. This. Oh no, where could he possibly be? I'm sure glad that his weak spot isn't giving him away.
By the way, off in the background, you can see Daigo fighting a bunch of zombies. And on Dead Souls difficulty, those zombies, again, are going to be max aggro at all times, so they all just rush him and completely destroy him. And if you like Daigo as much as I do, you just love seeing that.
Oh, we're going invisible now.
Yup. It's, as you can see, very effective. If you have Majima's shotgun upgrade for this part, which is ridiculously hard to get RNG-wise, the damage that you do with the shotgun, if you can hit the weak spot, which you can just by aiming at it and getting like the right angle, you can just loop the Arahabaki into like going into invisibility, out of invisibility, into invisibility, blah blah blah.
I love when you can manipulate AI. Especially when it works to your benefit.
There is a surprising amount of that like Garlic will be doing in the background, like for this run. It's unfortunate that the aggro was in the way. That means that aggro is going to be on Garlic until the very end here. You can tell as well by the music.
It's okay, Daigo's gonna face tank him for her.
Thanks, Daigo.
There's another one. You just want to vibe, though.
Yeah, we try to sneak past those ones.
I think that as well, if any NPC who is following you, like Daigo, does hit the aggros, I think that also aggros them.
Yes, it does.
Wonderful video game. Love it.
I'm gonna pick
Actually.
up this
So here we
flamethrower.
have the flamethrower. Which, yeah, go ahead, Garlic. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh yeah, I was just saying I'm getting the flamethrower, and it's really good against the crowds of zombies. It's not very good damage against the special infected, as you can see.
That aggro from earlier. The one good thing at the very least is that it will, as you can see with the aggro, after a certain amount of time, stagger them. So Garlic was doing a very good job, like, staying away from the aggro that wasn't initially aggroed in this bit until the aggro that was initially aggroed came over without dealing with Daigo.
They sure chose a name for that special infected, honestly, or for that mutant.
I think there's one hiding by the gate.
Oh,
That
damn.
one
I was gonna try
singular
to pick up
zombie.
the
Yeah,
shiny.
there's always one. Yesterday in
I
the
think we're
practice,
doing
we
good,
had-
right, though, on the blocks. We haven't gotten a meathead built, right?
No, I think
No.
I have at least 2.
Okay. Sorry, no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I remember tomorrow we had yesterday we had a zombie hide behind some escalators, and I think Garlic spent a good 30 seconds looking for him. The zombies in this game can be very special, especially on any percent.
I mean,
Yeah.
we did see that one running into the corner.
Yeah.
The game will sometimes give you an indicator around the edge of, like, a red arrow, like a very thin red arrow of, like, where a zombie is. But it doesn't want to do that all the time, for some reason.
hmm
Yeah, and sometimes that little indicator can be hard to see, especially when there's a lot going on.
So those dudes there are a sub-story selling zombie serum that's totally legit, which Majima is interested in because what we didn't see because we're skipping the scenes is he was bitten.
Or was he?
We'll never know.
Routing that bit was a pain in the backside for all sub-stories because you need isn't it 150,000 yen to start that sub-story?
It's like
The
200k.
200, yeah, it's
it's 200k, yeah.
200,000.
You get it back, thankfully, but, like,
Yeah, it makes the money route for all sub-stories interesting.
We added RNG to the RNG of the run. And then we have Majima's final chapter. You'll see, apart from Akiyama's, you'll see a very common thread between a lot of characters where their last chapter is quite short. It'll either be, like, just a boss fight or a special event in the last character's case.
Oh yeah, and I think after the end of this boss is where the break segment would be good to do the crash roll.
Sounds good. So we'll do our wellness break and restart the PS3 break right after this part then.
Yeah, at the end of the chapter, which will be right after the boss.
Yep. Folks, as we approach the boss, I just want to remind you that you can join our official GDQ Discord and add the hotfix role, and that's where you can keep tabs on things like upcoming events, talk with staff, and more. It's also a great way to get in touch with me if you don't share a mutual Discord server with me. You need to get in touch with me for some reason. You can use !Discord in the Twitch chat for more information if you want to do all that.
So yeah, we're just running to the batting center where we're going to fight Majima's final boss. And see our third prototype?
Yeah.
I can count, I promise.
Yeah, it's weird, because usually you'd think they'd be at the end of every characters, but we had the Onraki here, like, in the very start of this one.
Hello, Lord Sadler.
Yeah. He's a cute little spider, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, I never actually made the connection before, but you're 100% right. Yep.
Yep. Just without the dangling human body there.
Mm-hmm.
Tsuchikuma? There it goes.
Yeah, sometimes he just doesn't participate in the boss battle, which is great for us.
Yeah.
Once again, never guess where the weak spot is.
I wonder.
So yeah, as you can see, the Tsuchikuma has these very nasty blade attacks. These are horrific on Dead Souls difficulty. Like, we're talking like almost an insta-kill. The nice thing is, with the any percent, the Gallic has enough time to just be able to like side strafe around. In the second phase of this fight, they actually like do a 2-hit combo, which is good, and it also actually leaves them a bit more open. We just spin it around a couple of times. And we get this cutscene right here. Garlic reloading just before the cutscene, which is good. Once you get to phase 2, there's a nice, like, easy set of shots you can make to try and get it on the floor and just get some free weak spot hits. Despite the Arahibaki with Akiyama having a really bad hitbox, this one's nice. You can see the Garlic's hitting it through the legs sometimes, unlike the Arahibaki.
Yeah, more times than not, they were definitely hitting the weak spot.
It can also heal, which, again, the nice thing is if you just hit the weak spot, that'll just stop them here.
This guy also, we haven't seen it yet, but he has a jumping attack, and casually I really like to bait him into doing it on Akiyama, just because I like seeing Akiyama in distress.
And then say hello to what is one of the best QTEs in any Yakuza game. This is how you play baseball.
Yeah, we become baseball man. Yeah, and thankfully, since we are on easy, this QTE is always the same. It's always square.
Yeah.
The Tsuchigumu, by the way, continuing on our trend of naming bosses after yokai and the like, is the name for a race of spider-like yokai, and also a historical derogatory name for renegade clans.
Also, not gonna lie, the end of that boss fight was actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was very Yakuza.
Yeah, it is.
The original
that's a QTE.
Bang Bang Center.
All right, and I believe this is going to be the point where we're going to take our wellness break. This is your chance to get up, walk around, restart your PS3 so that the game doesn't crash, and also maybe have a snack while you're at it. And if you want to, you can also go to gamesdonequick.com/hotfix. You can check out this season's schedule and check out the schedule for an in-depth look at every week's runs whenever we are at the start of the week instead of the end of the week. So we'll be right back in just a few minutes, and I'll see you on the other side. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Passion Project episode 39. This is the best place on Twitch to show the world what you love the most in speedrunning and gaming. We are still fighting zombies on the streets of Kamurocho in the Yakuza Dead Souls any percent category with Garlic. Go ahead and take it away. I don't want to delay the run any longer, and I'm having a great time. I don't know about you all.
Sure. So we before the break I made a save. I had to make a new save so that I can quit and then restart the game. And this helps prevent crashes. So I'm about to load this save. And it's the one I just made before. And as soon as I get out of here, we can restart time on 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck. No more crashes.
Hopefully this will work.
Yeah, we haven't had any crashes yet, so fingers crossed.
Now, this is actually a very unique character, because this is the only game so far in which you can play Ryuji, who was the villain in Yakuza 2. And as far as I'm concerned, still the best villain we've had in the series.
I agree. I'm not biased.
Not at all.
I would struggle to disagree, honestly. He's very good. He's very, very good.
We love Ryuji.
Unfortunately, this part is kind of rough.
Yeah, that's what I was
we-
gonna say.
They gave him like the worst part of the game because this part takes like 30 minutes basically, and that's just his first chapter.
Oh.
Even in all sub-stories, Akiyama and Majima's sub-stories actually have a really cool flow to them with the route that we made up. Ryuji's in, I believe it's... I can't remember how many, I think it's 12 out of 15 of his sub-stories. They all drag you out of the infected zone when you finish them. Which is ridiculous because you just can't chain sub-stories together that well with Ryuji, unfortunately. So, once again, Gallic's going to be keeping an eye on that kill count, especially with these zombies, because these zombies are really, really annoying if you headshot one of them. I almost called them dragons, and I'm kind of concerned about that. Is it really that early in the morning?
Look, we all love the Like a Zombie series.
Like a zombie.
Imagine if this game had really taken off. That's probably what the series would have become. Who knows?
Nice cutie girl figure.
Yeah, we got a lot of money drops.
Yeah, we mentioned briefly earlier there would be a point where all the money and the skills that we level up with would start to kind of collate together. It's Ryuji. So any extra money that we can get here is just, it's nice. It's a good bonus. You'll also notice at the top left that currently Gallic has around about 500 bullets. That's not enough. That's nowhere near enough.
No.
Not with a Gatling gun, no.
Not with this game.
Or this game, yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
you'll
the
see-
game has... Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, you'll see Gallic goes down here for this extra ammo drop that looks like it's out of the way. You need it.
Yeah, I was gonna say the game has ammo boxes. They are fixed on easy. On Dead Souls difficulty, they're all random, so enjoy.
Oh, they are.
We're gonna take this chainsaw through here and make a quick path for ourselves. And hopefully not hit the aggro, because he's very rude.
I'm not sure if Panda, Big Nano, or Gallic would agree. This room right here is by far the worst room in Dead Souls difficulty. If you do not do what Garlic just did and pick up that chair instantly, you will get stun locked and killed. There's
Yeah,
nothing you can do.
Yeah, the strat for the room is walk in the room, hurry up and pick up the chair, and pray while you swing the chair.
Even then, you can still get, stun locked by the enemy. If they somehow manage to kick the sofa over and hit you whilst you're, not in the swing animation, that will also stop you and then get you stun locked as well. This is by far and away just horrific of a room.
Yeah,
I'm
and
just
also
delighted.
go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say, look at the amount of furniture. The IKEA potential here is just through the
Yeah,
roof.
it's rough on Dead Souls difficulty when they smack the couch and it just hits you in the forehead.
Oh, I was gonna say I'm delighted at how the couches are just sliding around like a couple of rag dolls on ice.
You see, it's funny here, but in 2 chapters, that's actually gonna be an issue. They also drop the FPS when they do that. This game is great. You'll see. You will absolutely see.
Oh, those pistols are so cute.
Right?
Sorry, I'm actually
You've also got-
genuinely thrilled by this guy's gun. It's got big Barrett energy, but better.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the Gatling gun is actually very good. This is, I'd say, one of the more fun weapons to use in the game.
It looks so cool.
But yeah, this part coming up, we have to take care of all the zombies in this entire area, which really kind of sucks. But
Yeah.
so I'm gonna hang back in this first area for a bit, which might seem slow, but there's a bunch of zombies that are gonna be falling down from this wall over here, and you need to take care of all of them.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate if you forget one and you get to the front of this area and the game is not progressing, and then you just sigh heavily and run back to this area usually to find one zombie standing here.
Yeah.
The other thing about this bit is that the soldiers who are with us, who we're trying to save, they can do the same thing where they can like shoot the zombies and knock them down and not full kill them. They can also steal your kills, so in certain bits like the bit before this where we know there are 6 zombies, sometimes you'll get 5 kills and actually it will end because they took care of the last one. There is, however, something that Garlic can use in this area to help out just a tiny bit against the mutants, that is. It's this.
Oh my god.
It controls as bad as you expect it to.
Oh, it looks like it controls terribly. There goes a boomer.
Bonk.
Oh, if you like
And
the
another.
looks of this, just wait for the last part of this chapter.
Yeah. So the main idea for this is we actually want to hit the 2 crybabies there and get rid of them very quickly so they don't spawn more zombies in. But while we're driving there, we might as well hit, all the zombies we can on the way. It also helps Ryuji save ammo because he has very low ammo at this point.
For the folks who have played Resident Evil 4, do you think that's Ashley Graham's perspective during the giant bulldozer segment in the original game?
Yeah.
Because that's all I could think of. I was like, this has got to be what she sees when she's driving that thing.
So you'll also notice that Garlic... There's the singular zombie over there. You'll notice that Garlic looked inside of the theater on the left-hand side very briefly. One of the things in this bit is that zombies can actually spawn inside of there, and because it's technically not on the... there's no zombie markers on the minimap or anything like that, unless you look inside of there, you can easily miss a zombie that you need to take care of. You have to take care of every zombie, as Garlic said.
We've all had that run early on when we learned this game, when you run around and you don't understand why it doesn't proceed, and you're like, oh, they can actually show up there, okay.
Yeah.
And someone in chat earlier said, I learned on Hotfix this week that dragons are vehicles.
True.
It's true, and if you happened to watch As Seen on TV before this, or if you stick around for after the show and we do our replay of both shows, you can also learn that cows can ride bicycles. Shoutouts to Barnyard from
Also
As Seen on
true.
TV. Which, actually, if vehicles are dragons, then that means that the cow can ride a dragon, right?
Yes, absolutely.
I like that for the cows.
So the whole point of Ryuji's section here is we want to leave the quarantine zone. The thing is we can't because we can't get out. So our bright idea is to take this tank and we're gonna bust a hole right in the side of this quarantine zone. But there's no shells, so we're gonna go pick them up ourselves.
Which is pretty dumb, because in Majima's bit for the boss fight, you can get in the tank and it has shells in it. So even if you don't use it like Garlic didn't, just randomly lost them at some point.
Yeah, we didn't get the cool, like, Resident Evil tech where it's like, if you leave it, then, like, another character can use it, or you can use it later. Nothing cool like that.
One of 2 things that this game fails to learn from Resident Evil. We'll talk about the other one much later.
So yeah, that was our first, like, big, basically most of our skills there. And we do that in preparation for these 2. These are Dipteras. They are very annoying. They like to spit at you, and they fly, so...
Oh, they're stupid, I forgot what their names are, but it's the
Spitters.
insects. Yeah, well, no. Well, yes, I forgot about them. But also, in Resident Evil 4, the stupid bugs in the sewer, and then later in the hive area, the ones that kidnap Ashley, and they grab you and spew acid all over you. They're awful.
Yeah.
The Novistadors?
Novistadors,
Yes,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, those are more, like, those walk around more, don't they?
They do walk. They do that weird little crab walk a lot of the time, but they can fly around too, and that's when they're the most annoying because they'll zip a lot like the enemies here do.
So
like,
that was
this game you already can't aim in, so I can imagine trying to hit them sucks.
Yeah. That was our last special infected. That was the Hermit. They are a hikikomori that never left their house and all of their crap just assimilated on themselves. Like a protective layer, as you do. The cool thing about them, and what Garlic did, one of the upgrades also pertains to this. By using the explosive barrel and actually hitting it, it actually like broke through the armor and hit inside. Explosives can also do that, and that's going to be very important coming up. One of the upgrades that Garlic got previously in this bit was Demolition Man, which increases the damage that you do with any explosive weapon. You only have to take care of these zombies in this little alleyway, but as you can see, if one or two of them decide not to go down, then you waste your time.
Yeah, I don't know if we mentioned that, but when the zombies get broken in half, they will crawl, and they will die on their own, but they take their sweet time. And it's very painful to aim down in this game.
What you just missed, or may have not realized, is that what Garlic just did was the first part of a escort quest. A absolutely giant escort quest, and this escort quest sucks.
It's Resident Evil 4 again.
So with the first group that you escort there, you can go straight back to the castle. There is actually an area in front of the castle that you have to get these NPCs to. Doesn't have any markings, but there is actually a way to tell if you're in the range. There are 2 sets of lampposts. Look out for them when Garlic gets back here, because you can't have any NPC on either side, unfortunately. And more unfortunate than that is you can only take one group of NPC survivors at a time, because on this route, there's actually 2 groups.
Yeah, and these two are actually great. I wish they were like real partners that you could take with you. They have 2 steel pipes, which you're like, okay, but they are super effective at getting rid of zombies. A little too well, because if you don't get rid of the zombies, they will. And they will not follow you until they've gotten rid of the zombies. So you have to do it as fast as possible so you can get them to follow you.
I love that you have those 2 soldiers with their puny guns earlier, just like scared, barely shooting, and these guys are just like 2 steel pipes, no problem, like rushing every zombie they see. Yeah.
So what you want to keep note of in this bit, and what the Garlic and the rest of us are also doing, is keeping an eye on the mini-map. Because the mini-map is the way to tell whether or not your NPCs are actually following you. And unfortunately, no, you can't get rid of their HP and then get them back here and just like, or like get them here early when their HP is gone. Because we've tried that with Dead Souls difficulty because, yeah, this bit on Dead Souls difficulty is, interesting. It's not as bad as you might think because there's like, the zombie spawns are fixed, which is nice. You've probably noticed, like, as Garlic's been going through the run, that Garlic's been knowing where the enemies spawn from because they can only spawn from, like, certain areas. Like, when we were under the Millennium Tower, there's, like, little, like, vent shafts and stuff like that, or doorways. Like, every enemy that can spawn in will spawn in from a specific spot if they're gonna spawn in.
Oh, you remember the 2 military guys? Yeah, they're back.
Are these actually the same ones?
Yes. It's actually, they talk about
I
it.
didn't know that.
But yeah,
I did
so
see
we have
in the previous section with them that Garlic definitely was shooting straight through them.
Yes.
At one point, and they took no damage. So,
Yeah.
Talking about how you can't kill NPCs just to pick them up later in Dead Souls difficulty. Yeah, no, I see it.
You'll also notice on the minimap that they are following the exact pathway that Garlic took. So if you like run around this truck to the left-hand side, they'll follow that path directly. The thing that will interrupt them is zombies. Don't ask where the monkey boy comes from. He just enters
He
stage
just
right.
appeared.
Yeah, he crawls out of a hole, but it's like not even a hole. I don't know, it's weird.
It's like the rubble. He just
Yeah,
comes
it's just
from not the
rubble, but he just, yeah.
So this bit is going to be a frustrating bit. Garlic's going to intentionally pick up this motorbike. Ooh.
Oh, the barrel. Oh, yeah.
And you can see one of them's being grabbed
the barrel
already at the back.
explodes, it's fine. It's just, it really drops the frames when it explodes.
So as you can see, there are several zombie spawns in this bit, and Garlic knows that ahead of time, which is why Garlic grabbed the motorcycle, because thanks to the upgrade that Garlic got for Super Grip, we can now pick up, like, two-handed weapons, bigger items, and just, you know, promote bikes at zombies. How's that not cool?
That was probably the worst throw I've ever seen executed by anybody on the planet. Like, he does this whole full body heave, and it just, like, drops directly next to him.
I guess to be fair, though, it doesn't even really make sense that he just picks up the motorcycle with ease like it's nothing, and he just runs with it, like he can jog with it. Like, it's really weird. So yeah, this is our last group that we save, and they're very awesome because they don't have any weapons or anything, so they will just follow you. And they did a very good job.
Yep. If you think that's it for this bit, oh, you're wrong.
But wait, there's more!
I just remember we got a save prompt next to the tank. When I played this game for the first part, I thought that was the end of chapter 1. And then I got the actual end of chapter 1, and I was like, this whole part was chapter 1 still?
Oh yeah, I on my splits when I do runs of this, I call this chapter half the run Ryuji 1.
Yeah, it's like the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 2, where you're Roxas and you're just Roxas for like 6 hours.
Yep.
We are now forklift certified, so we are going to drive the forklift. The reason we use the forklift is because we need to move these containers out of the way, because we're going to use the forklift to pick up the shells for the tank and take them back to the tank.
So this is
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, this is a weird quotation marks puzzle where you're supposed to create enough room to get the forklift and the missiles through, which is actually impossible with this setup. When Garlic comes back through this bit later, like in like about a minute, take note of where the containers are.
Yeah, this animation just takes forever.
Also, now you see the problem with this game. This isn't the Yakuza game. This is a Shenmue game.
Yeah, we're playing Sumu now. And funny enough, this forklift actually does control very similarly, like mostly the same buttons as the Shenmue one.
Yeah. So
if you can drive in Shenmue, you can drive in Yakuza Dead Souls. There you go.
One thing that's going to be a little hard to pass, if you look at the top left, there's a fuel gauge, aka when that gets to 0, it's a game over. However, the nastier element is below it. Yes, it has a HP bar. Watch how little HP it's going to have getting out of this section on easy. Imagine this on the harder difficulties. If you're on hard or above, you have to get out of the forklift at some point.
Yeah, on Dead Souls, this just takes so much HP. You have to get out of the forklift and just zombies. Otherwise, you're just going to explode here.
Okay, where'd half of those containers go, by the way?
Oh my god.
Yeah, Big Nono's saying, like, it's on Dead Souls difficult, you have to get out. You have to, like, preemptively know where the spawns are to be able to, like, stop them. We also have some kind of risky, terrible strats where if we can, like, have the damage low enough, we will just, like, try to... Nice! I'm so glad you went for that. That is the sideways forklift. And then there's a lot of mashing here to reload the shell into the tank.
We do it 3 times and then we're free. And then we endanger the entire rest of the city.
That chapter was like 20-25 minutes, by the way.
You could tell how much I get tired from the mashing, because, like, by the third one, it's slowing down.
Yeah, the third one, there was, like, straight up, like, a half-second pause or something like that. It's like, I'm so tired of this.
That's what everyone says when they play Yakuza Dead Souls.
I mean, I imagine it'd be the quote of this entire chapter.
Yes!
Yes.
Now, thankfully, the next 3 chapters, especially the last 2 for Ryuji, are relatively fast. And this will be the point where, as we were saying earlier, not only have we now done like a big amount of level ups, we're now going to do a very big shopping section.
Yeah, we're gonna go shopping.
Shopping montage. Woo!
Get in the forklift, we're going shopping.
Yep, basically. We are gonna see our good friend Hasegawa again, and we're finally going to do the thing she's been telling us to do like the entire game so far, which is redeem the points that we've been getting for doing the certain objectives, the little directives you get for shooting so many zombies and etc. We're gonna get some gold plates, and then we're gonna get a book called what is it? Yeah, Sarge's Unexpected Gift. That lets us upgrade a shirt that we're going to go buy, and that allows us to go zoom in the quarantine zone. We move a lot faster with it on.
Yeah, it starts off. It's a ridiculous amount. It starts off 10% and goes up to 20. Is the other reason for the Garlic's upgrades is so that you can actually craft the shirt. Sorry, Big Noah, off you.
No, I was just gonna say the Hasegawa points are very similar to the pirate points from Pirate Yakuza. If you played the new Yakuza game, if not, highly recommend it. We finally got another good one. Or the Akame points from Gaiden. But basically, you perform certain tasks, you get the points, and you can exchange them for prizes. And that's why earlier in the game you want to get a certain amount of kills without getting hit, and all sorts of things like that. This is all to build up points for this part right here.
Do you want me to do the upgrade one part? This part?
Yeah, please.
Okay. So we are going to do this is our basically big upgrade section. We are going to ignore this guy. He is a sub-story. We don't want to do that. We're going to sell everything we've picked up so far. So all of our gold plates, all of our cutie girl figures, any other random stuff that sells for a lot. We're going to sell everything. And then we're going to upgrade Kamiyama's truck twice. And what that allows us to do is that allows us to buy the grenade launcher, which is very essential to the rest of this run. But we're also going to upgrade the shirt we bought at Donkey. And then we're going to upgrade a shotgun that we're going to buy, and we're going to upgrade Ryuji's gun arm as well.
He makes the best.
Yeah,
I
and
also
unfortunately,
appreciate the fact that you don't engage with this by saying "get rid of him already."
Yeah,
you
unfortunately,
lose a minute and a half.
Yeah, it
I'm
would
like
be nice
30K.
if we could just do that and skip it, but it's one of those scenes where you just have to skip the text. We can't actually skip the thing.
Yeah, he leaves the truck instantly. He's what the game considers a partner character. We have to deal with the partner characters in all sub-stories because most of them have a sub-story or 2, or in this guy's case, 5 sub-stories like attached to them. And literally by giving him a gun and sending him off, he then leaves and you have to deal with that cutscene. He then wants more stuff. He wants like a breastplate, he wants a healing item, he wants like a charm as well. That's a pain.
A lot of Ryuji's, in general, this game has a lot of good sub-stories. Ryuji has some really good ones. None of them involve this guy because they all basically go, Ryuji tries to tell the guy, no, you can't help me fight zombies, you suck. And then the game spends 5 sub-stories showing you that, yes, in fact, he does suck.
Yeah.
Actually, if you don't mind me jumping in real quick, if folks in chat, if you have missed out on any of our Hotfix shows or events like Back to Black or the English broadcast of Speedruns 5s, which, if I recall, Froob, you did commentary for that, did you not?
Which one, sorry?
Did you commentary for one of the runs for the English restream for Speedruns?
I did not know.
Oh my goodness, who am I mixing it up with then? Maybe it's the fact that I had Jaxler on my previous show and he did like 5 different runs.
Shout out to Jackson.
Oh my goodness, Jaxler, you will not find someone who has a wider swath of, like, smorgasbord games, or games knowledge than Jaxler, but,
Love
you
Jaxler
should
so
check
much.
out oh yeah. You should check out our VODs on our YouTube, at youtube.com/GamesDoneQuick. It's also where you can watch, the show I've had Frub on previously about a year or two ago. Shout out to when you appeared on the show for me. Was that under Passion Project or under my old show Never Before Seen?
Never
I can't
before seen,
remember.
I believe.
Oh my goodness, was it that
Yep.
long ago?
I think it was, yeah.
Wow.
Also making me feel old, thanks. Appreciate it.
I mean, I forget that this show's been running for over 2 years, so
Yeah, it's been very nice to see.
yeah.
Yeah, that room we just left there is interesting because there's several places in this game where on Dead Souls difficulty it's actually easier, and that room is one of them. You can just like pull out the grenade launcher, shoot a grenade at the wall, and everyone explodes because they're so aggressive and everyone's bunched up. But on easy it actually takes longer because they all kind of just do whatever in the room. There's a few of them that are aggressive, but most of them are just like vibing in the room.
I'm sorry, I saw you shoot that Diptera basically point blank, and it just like
Yeah.
phased through it.
Just no soul the first grenade. Yeah, I was shocked to see that.
Yeah, because of Dead Souls.exe. This bit is very frustrating because of these Molotov zombies. Molotov zombies, depending on the difficulty of the game, are either the worst or the best. You would think that being on the hardest difficulty, they'd be the worst because of damage. No, they're the best because their Molotovs will actually burn the zombies, but on the easiest difficulty, as you can see, they will obstruct you so much. They will also drop any Molotov in hand when you kill them, which is just also frustrating.
Yeah, because on Dead Souls, again, everyone's max aggro, so they're always around you, so they will often just send them out of your way and burn all the zombies that are right next to you. They're total bros on Dead Souls.
Yeah, another interesting thing about this little part is once you finish that conversation, everyone's just magically gone.
Yeah, it's really nice to go back.
Who knows where they went?
Maybe they all ran into the
Bingo.
next area.
I was gonna say bingo.
The camera always gets weird there.
Yeah. And then this bit is also equally frustrating because it's just, you're in the middle of like a two-group sandwich and yeah, just try and deal with them. Like, it is pretty much just fire grenade launcher and it just react to what happens, like which zombies are alive, which mutants are coming after you, just, yep, missing Dipteras again, like.
Those spit attacks are really annoying.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to like strafe side to side, but even then it's like sometimes they get offset. And so you'll dodge one and run into the other.
Yeah.
You've probably noticed we've said this a lot. This bit on Dead Souls difficulty is horrific.
Yeah, you have to come into this section with full heat and upgraded as well. And you basically use 2 heat snipes immediately and then just pick off the rest. But yeah, if you get hit and you lose your heat and you don't have any healing items to get more heat, then yeah.
Was that zombie stuck inside that barrel?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was his barrel.
Nice thing about these barricades, they'll all go down to one shot from anything.
Yeah, and you can
This is
also
bullshit.
shoot them through walls.
Literally, the nastiest option is, oh yeah, hang in there, kid. That's the quickest option. It just gets you out of the dialogue. It's just like, kid, you're doing good up there. Speaking of doing good, I hope you've been enjoying the Resident Evil references. Now time for another famous reference. See if anyone can recognize this one.
Wow.
Ryuji's like, just a box. Get out of the way.
I mean, all I can think about is the Metal Gear Solid reference I made earlier when I swore someone's glasses were just eye sockets.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. This is all the video games you like. This is Yakuza, this is Resident Evil 4, this is Metal Gear Solid.
It's Left 4 Dead 2. That was the first one it was.
Oh, we got him.
Nice. Yeah, this room is hard. So for this room and the next room, we use the grenade launcher to take them out in one grenade. There is a zombie that likes to chill in the hallway sometimes and not participate. But he was nice there.
The grenade launcher in this game is actually really good, and it's going to be absolutely invaluable in a boss fight a bit later.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, Ryuji's, the rest of Ryuji's portion is basically a boss rush at this point. When we leave here, we are going to have a boss with 2 phases and then another boss fight.
We're also going to cross our fingers as hard as possible because this next chapter and the chapter after are probably 2 of the biggest crash points in the game.
Yeah. I usually get it after the boss.
I've been getting it before for some reason. I never used to, and then the more I ran this game, the more I got it before.
Yeah, I always get it here.
We have this very tinfoil hat theory where, especially for me and Panda, we've had so many crashes in this game, we're fairly certain our PS3s are broken to this game.
Yeah.
I stopped running this specifically so it wouldn't kill my PS3.
Yeah, I recommend everyone play this game. If you want to speedrun this game, I would, if you can, buy another PS3, and I'm not even kidding.
Yep.
Oh, definitely. That's what I did. It's my Dead Souls machine.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, I have a
I
Dead
mean-
Souls machine as well.
I mean, if everything we've said and shown you hasn't made you want to spend more money on this game, then I really don't know what to do.
This is
This
our
is-
next prototype. Oh, go ahead, Broom.
I was just gonna say, this is Pop's, not Ryuji's actual dad. He just sells
Nice.
takoyaki and helps him make takoyaki. Now he's an octopus. It's symbolic.
And then to sum this up real quick, so there are 4 tentacles on each side. They all have different health values, and the 2 in the center are the ones we want to destroy because they have the lowest health. Another interesting bit is that every time he does that recoil animation, he resets the health on the tentacles. They basically regenerate. So you always want to focus 1 tentacle at a time. That way you're not wasting bullets and time.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
that
this
furniture
animation here-
absolutely went right through Ryuji.
Yeah.
If you get a bad fight in here, all of this furniture will hit you on the way through. And the nice thing is, Pops hasn't done the nasty attack yet. There is an attack that has such a long attack animation that it takes him like 30 to 40 seconds to get
What?
out of it.
Why is he being so...
So
He
aggressive.
is not cooperating.
If I'm laughing, I'm not laughing at how the boss is being aggressive. I'm just laughing at the furniture just flying wherever it feels like.
He's not giving any rest between
I
attacks.
think he thought this was Dead Souls difficulty.
Yeah.
I think he's on the wrong difficulty.
But yeah, Amber, I don't think you have to apologize. If you're watching Dead Souls and you're not laughing, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean,
yeah.
I laugh while running
Yeah.
very often.
So phase 2 is actually really cool. We're hoping for 1 attack in particular, and there's like 5 attacks. So, not that attack, that's just him showing off the viewers at home, hey Pops, bye Pops. So, Pops is going to bring up all of their tentacles out of like one or two of the holes. This one is not that great because obviously, as you saw there, Garlic could only hit one of them. But every single tentacle here has its own hitbox.
Yeah.
So that attack right there.
That's the one you want to see.
This one's also okay if you can like get a good spread, but it's a lot harder because they're obviously spread out around you.
No,
Oh,
throw
this
it.
one sucks.
Oh yeah, he can also throw rocks at you when he gets angry.
I usually
That
go
was
for that.
close, but yeah,
that was actually a
much better one.
variation.
And I missed the...
That was quick.
Yeah.
That was really
So-
quick though.
You'll
That
notice
health bar melted.
that Pops basically jumped out of the floor again, went back down, and then jumped out again. You have to finish this with a bullet. With a heat action like that. So this is like one of only a couple of places where you are forced to use those slow heat actions.
And Pops' name, his official prototype name is Yatsukahagi, which is actually just another name for Tsuchigumu, which is the boss we fought in Majima's part. And it literally means 8 grasping legs, which is very fitting here.
To answer the question in chat wondering if this is New Game Plus, this is not. This is any percent. It's just on the easy difficulty. Because from what I've been hearing from our wonderful commentators, Dead Souls is a thing. Like, Dead Souls difficulty is certainly a thing.
New Game Plus speedruns of this game are cathartic.
Yeah,
they're
so
great.
fun.
You get a orbital laser that you just nuke everything with.
That's
It
the speedrun.
literally just comes from the sky, even in the building. Don't ask how that works.
Although, interestingly, this game doesn't let you pick up anything from the item box until Chapter 2, so Chapter 1 is, even on New Game Plus, really similar to any percent in a lot of ways.
The only difference, which I wish more Yakuza games would do this, is it actually lets you skip those tutorials you saw at the very start.
Yeah, that's another win for Dead Souls.
In this house, we give Dead Souls the praise and respect that it deserves. And then we repeat boss fights, because we love reusing assets in this series.
Okay,
And they're being
he
aggressive.
chose violence today. Everyone chose violence today in this boss battle.
Yeah, that's me when I woke up to a spam robocaller today.
So, this fight, we have 2 Arahabaki prototypes and the Onaki, and yeah, as you can see, Garlic is going to take out one of the Arahabakis. Hopefully without... Okay, never mind. I was gonna say, hopefully without too much disagreement, but...
They are being ridiculously aggressive today.
Yeah, I have another tinfoil hat theory that this game is confused with the difficulty here. Like, I feel like this fight's actually harder on easy, and it's easier on Dead Souls.
I'd agree with that.
Because the game decided that the Arahabakis being invisible makes it more difficult, so they just chill there. But on easy, they come out of invisibility really quickly and attack you constantly. Whoa.
Good dodge.
They are spicy.
Yeah, they're coming. There we go.
It's coming again.
And yeah, I try to kill I want one of the Arahabakis to be the last thing I kill because the death animation is slightly faster.
Yeah, as we talked about earlier, the Onraki is very dramatic with his death animation.
It's a very satisfying set of S's there.
Yeah.
You had one that was SC, 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 D, because you don't use heats, unless you absolutely are forced to. But it was just, I was like, man.
There was
If only.
there was one where at the end it spelled BDA, and my theory is the game tried to say bad but just couldn't quite hack it.
You can get some fantastic combinations. You can get sass. You can get bass. Wish
You
we
can
were
get-
playing
well-
Sega Bass Fishing.
Oh yeah.
There may be something later this year for Sega speedrunners out there. Just
Ooh.
saying.
Nani?
Just saying.
Okay. Okay.
There's an event I do every year, and with Hypnotics, and it may or may not involve more than just a blue hedgehog this year.
So, if you're watching this right now and you're really confused because we were firing guns, yes, this is still Yakuza Dead Souls, but Kiryu sees these zombies as people and he doesn't want to shoot them, which is why he's punching them instead.
Just Kiryu things.
Yeah. We're gonna do 2 rounds of that. We did the first round and now we're gonna do the second one. The best way to do it would be to just do a light heavy, which is basically a square triangle. That basically guarantees they will be on the ground. But sometimes they just, I don't know. The targeting for this is a suggestion. Sometimes Kiryu just wants to punch the air instead of the zombies.
Yeah, because the trigger for this section ending is 6 zombies have to get up from the floor. And that's just the fastest way to go about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we punch 5 zombies and then stomp the last one. Oh, after we punched him, I guess.
On Dead Souls, by the way, it's really not a good idea to do this because you just get rushed all the time. So what you do is you just do running drop kicks. It's actually really funny.
Yep.
Yeah. I actually do the same thing to Nagahama here because, I don't know, he's just ridiculous on Dead Souls difficulty. You don't have to, but it's just funny. But I find that the drop kick is actually more consistent than the swing, but the swing is technically faster.
Right.
Oh no, Nagahama, what happened?
Not Nagahama.
Yeah, this is the guy earlier in the game who kept getting stuck on the wall.
Yeah, he had no spatial awareness. Looked like me trying to walk into a room.
Oh, so yeah, this is basically the zombie section we were just in with hitting the zombies. We're gonna do that a specific amount of times, and then... Ooh.
Sometimes he doesn't feel like getting up.
Yep.
It's like, and this is for getting stuck on the wall.
So, with Nagahama, you can either get him up a certain amount of times or fully deplete his HP bar, and they actually work out as being like pretty much similar. It's a little bit quicker to do the stomping thing that Garlic is doing.
Chat goes, that's right, Kitty. Punch the zombie infection out of them.
I think that's what he's really thinking.
At this point, Kiryu's kind of realized, and now the man is using a gun. We said earlier that every character has their own unique weapon. You're not going to see Kiryu's for a while.
I mean, you mean it's not his fists?
Sadly not. Although, I don't think... Did we mention that in that previous part, you would expect the game to play like any older Yakuza? No. It plays worse. It plays worse than even OG1, which has not aged super well. The lock-on system is not like the lock-on system from any Yakuza. It is literally like the lock-on system if you had a gun in this game with the strafing stuff. So as you probably guess, it's not very great.
Also, like we explained, just like abilities, equipment does carry over between characters, but you actually have to go get it. A fun way of killing a run of this game is to just go ahead to the set piece and forget to pick up all the guns with Kiryu.
Yeah, I'm not sure who would do that.
I've never done that. Nope.
I
mean, it would be kind of amusing to kill Basan with the handgun, maybe.
Or just with your bare fist.
The quotation marks nice thing is that the game at least gives you a sniper rifle in the ammo box, because Isagi won't ever stop going on about the sniper rifle, even though we have a sniper rifle. We know.
Oh yeah, another thing I think we forgot to mention is, so if you'll notice, Garlic here is not shooting the zombies, she's just running by them. So the special shirt we bought and upgraded it has a penalty for shooting and reloading. If you shoot or reload, you basically drop back to normal speed, and then you have to like pick up speed, and then you basically continue at full speed. So we want to shoot as less as we can.
Yeah.
I also just want to shout out how well Garlic has been handling all the things this game has been throwing at her.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
this
Like,
game has
legit,
not
this run-
been nice.
This run has been very delightful to watch, both between like the excellent run quality and also the three of you on commentary have been amazing.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks.
Thanks.
But no, Garlic is. I can't. This is one of those things where it's so difficult to communicate how difficult it is to control a game like this. And Garlic, just making it look flawless and everything's flowing correctly. That's very, very difficult to do in any kind of setting, let alone a marathon setting.
Oh yeah, like
Yeah.
Garlic makes it look like if this game came out and if I played it when it came out, I would have loved it. I probably still would have loved it, but I probably would have had a lot of complaints about it.
I
Yeah.
guess another way
we
to
do.
explain it. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say another way to explain it is my husband helps us a lot with testing things out in these games. Every time he has to play this game, he shouts words that we will not say here because the control scheme is so bad. He hates it.
I mean, I'm sure he invents new words for the English language along the way.
Yes. But yeah, shout out to Ross for putting up with my nonsense every time I want him to test something for this game.
Yeah, Ross.
He's
actually
helped a
did
lot
of
with this
testing.
run, actually, just because I'm
Yeah.
like, hey, can you look at this thing?
Yeah, figuring out like the technical stuff on pops, like stuff like that. And it's been very nice because like as you can tell from this run, from those of you like watching this, there's so much RNG. And like
Yeah.
a lot of what's been found has helped us with a lot of segments for a lot of the RNG. Like obviously knowing that there are easier technicals to go for, like just so nice.
Would you say development of the speedrun has been like pretty steady over time, or has it had a period of time where it really picked up?
It picked up when Panda picked this up. Like both Panda
Yeah.
and Garlic. For years it was pretty much just me. Streetback Guy came in and did a tiny bit, like a couple of runs. But it was Panda and Garlic coming in. And also Meta, I should mention Meta with Dead Souls difficulty stuff. Because Dead Souls difficulty stuff, as Big Gunno said earlier, is also like collated into much better strats for the any percent. Like, I think for
Shoutouts to Meta.
yeah, I think for the 3-4 years that I've been doing runs of this before anyone else had picked this up, I didn't know there was a shot to increase your movement speed. Like, why would that? That's not in any other Yakuza game. Why would that be a thing? And in this game, of all things. Sorry, Big Gunno.
So
No, I was
cool
just
thing
gonna
we can
say
do
that-
here. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, no, explain this. I'll go.
I was
after.
gonna say, a cool thing we can do here is there's a barrel that we can heat snipe. One of the like 3 heat snipes we do in the entire game. Usually it takes out the 2 mutant zombies and all of the other zombies, but sometimes it just stuff likes to bounce in this game a lot.
The only thing I was going to say is you can't you can't overstate how much development of Yakuza speedrunning correlates with Sterix Z making guides for these games. And for a
Yeah.
long time, there wasn't a good guide for Dead Souls until recently. I forget the name, but someone made a Sterix Z style guide for this, and that's helped a lot. So shout out to Sterix Z, and also looking forward to that part Yakuza guide.
Is that
Yeah.
guide available on the speedrun.com page for the game?
Game
That is not a
FAQs.
speedrunning guide. That is a game
Oh,
facts
just
guide.
like-
Siric Z, yeah, he
Wow.
just makes game facts guides for all the Yakuza games. He makes really, really good ones.
They are considered by the community, not just the speedrun community, but the giant like Yakuza community and people who play these games, the Bibles in terms of like if you want to do side content, if you want to do like 100% of these games, all achievements, trophies, etc. Like, just pretty much every single one of them will have like all the info you will need. It's very rare that there won't be like something in Zurich's guides that are just like, you know, hey, there's this item here. Like K2, we pick up a platinum plate that's just not mentioned in a guide because it's underneath a sofa in a corner that you would never go to. Still can't believe I found that.
So this part here, they want you to use the sniper rifle, but we're not going to, and we're going to use the grenade launcher.
Remember what we
this
said
part is
earlier
actually
about how
very
bad the sniper
difficult.
is?
Yeah. Yeah, this part's
This is
really
going
difficult
so much
because
better than yesterday.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it is.
So the interesting thing is the way that Garlic is doing it is that she's looking at certain parts of where like the balcony is on the other side, and you can kind of line that up to where your shots are going to go. But as you can see, there's one zombie at the very far back who might make this a little bit of a pain.
Oh, look, Majima shot one zombie.
I'm so proud of him.
Yeah. So basically, what we're doing here is we're actually backing Majima up, but for some reason
That
he
one's
just
dead, it's closer.
sometimes he
Oh
just
my God.
stands there and doesn't actually help you kill any of the zombies.
I think he
Where-
pushed.
God.
I think he pushed a zombie to the left.
Oh no.
Oh, it,
There, right there. Look at that guy.
Wow.
Thanks, Majima.
Thanks, Majima.
Classic Dead Souls. Classic Dead Souls.
of course, push a zombie that is dressed in all black onto the black part of the floor.
Yep. But you saw there, one, the ridiculousness of how many shots it actually took to take care of these zombies, because the army zombies in this bit are actually slightly different to your normal zombies, in that army zombies have a little bit more HP, and they're way more aggressive at getting out of the way. Like, if you try to use the shotgun in this bit, the army zombies will actually... right there, right there, right there. They just dodge roll everything. They suck.
Rip Asagi. She's fine, don't worry.
Okay, finally an explosion that actually hits the flying jerks.
The terrors, yeah.
Thank you. I was like, it's ripped something, and I cannot remember the second half of the name.
You can just say Novies and that'd be fine as well.
So yeah, the thing about this bit is there's a certain number of zombies you have to kill in this bit, and you will guaranteed get spawns from under these trucks. When they're in the middle of their animation of crawling out from underneath the truck, they're invulnerable. So you'll see Garlic will be going back and forth between two different spots to try and like spawn in all the zombies. Thankfully the army ones stop after a while, which is nice, because they would be annoying.
Yeah, one of the spots is the spot right here. And then the other spot is, yeah, under the... They crawl out from under the dump truck over there.
Yeah, here's where the red like arrows on the sides are really useful.
And this is one of the like most classic bits of, wouldn't it be better to stand on the other side and use the sniper? No. No. Like to
It would
aim and
if the
shoot like
sniper,
this, yes. Yeah, but aiming down sights? No.
Yeah, sometimes you can kind of like 180 no scope them, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna grab some ammo here.
So you might recognize this place because we were here earlier as Majima.
Oh
Thankfully,
yeah, with the
for-
aggros.
Yeah, thankfully. Oh, they're still here though. Don't worry. But thankfully, as Kiryu, it's a bit better because now we have the grenade launcher.
Did we explain during Majima's part the mechanic where you only have to defeat the zombies next to the end of this?
Yes, I think we did.
I think so.
But yeah, just to recap, we only have to... We get this scene here, and we only have to kill the zombies in this section. All the zombies in front of us, basically. It gets kind of confusing if you have any of the prototype zombies... Not prototype. The mutant zombies follow you from behind. because they will join in, and you're just like, okay, who's who now? So you just end up killing all of them. But yeah, the flamethrower is really good here because they kind of just stack. Like, there's a few spawn points. Yeah, right here where she was just standing is basically massive, like one major like spawn point for them.
Points don't matter here anymore, thankfully.
That guy just wanted a hug.
Yeah.
If you're doing all sub-stories, you could get a tiny bit more out of the points here, because you could go and see Hasagak if you needed a little bit more money. The money route, again, in all sub-stories, as mentioned earlier, is a little wild, because you need, like, over 1 million yen.
Another thing we need to be careful of here is we need to keep an eye on the amount of grenade launcher ammo we have, because we're going to need that for the boss coming up in a bit. And if you don't, it's very bad if you don't have it, because you're gonna have a really bad time. Your run's
even the game
dead.
knows.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Also, you might be wondering, we don't use the in-game time that you can see on the screen there, because obviously with things tied to FPS and how unreliable these in-game times are, like most of the time with like the Yakuza games, we just couldn't use them as like an accurate timing method. But you can kind of get the gist of how you're doing in these parts with that in-game time, thankfully. It's just not fully accurate for speedrun routing purposes. Or speedrun timing purposes.
Runner by the name of PLA has done some science on in-game timers in Yakuza, and in some games like Yakuza 3, they're pretty accurate to loadless time. They just roll back when you reload the checkpoint, which is a problem. But in Yakuza 0, for example, they're very weird. They like count up every now and then, and they will just increment the IGT, and sometimes if the entire increment doesn't go through, you just lose some of that time. So yeah, in a lot of the games, the IGT is just complete nonsense. Also, this is where you find out that the Thanatos, basically what causes the zombie infection, was found in Africa. So this game, it's like this. It's not trying to be Resident Evil 4. It's trying to be Resident Evil 5.
I thought it was getting that with the partner system half the time, but the partner system has actually been good here, for the most part.
Yeah.
So we have a bit of a waiting segment. We have to wait here for 3 minutes. So we're just gonna chill out and maybe harass Akiyama a bit.
Always a good time. Oh, he's not doing the animation from yesterday, unfortunately. There you go.
I feel blessed.
Dudes rock.
You don't really have...
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Garland.
Gonna say, you don't really have to worry about most of these zombies. I just kill the special infected that get in our way down here.
Yeah, and I was just gonna add that another interesting bit for this is Akiyama's weapons will carry over to this part. So if you have upgraded his weapons, he will be using those here, which is really cool. And that goes for Ryuji as well.
Also, while we're waiting for another minute and 43 seconds, I just want to let you all know that we do have GDQ's International Transgender Day of Visibility celebration. That's going to be a weekend highlighting transgendered speedrunners on March 29th and the 30th at the end of this month. So use !transvisibility in Twitch chat for more information on that. And I'm looking forward to that. That's being put together by a couple of our showrunners. And honestly, I think it's really awesome that we're celebrating Transgender Day of Visibility.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, fully agreed.
And of course, let's get that obligatory Your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheered on the GDQ Twitch channel, and fire extinguishers sprayed on your partner system. They do all help support Games Done Quick Hotfix, so if you enjoy watching speedruns, you should consider subscribing to the channel and get access to our emotes, have ad-free viewing, and chat with other subscribers during our replays. Which, if you came in, we're about 2 hours into the run now. If you came in just now, we had a recent raid. If you came in just now, we will be replaying both as seen on TV as well as this show after this show ends. So if you wanted to catch all of the hotfix stuff we had happen tonight, you can catch it from the top after this run.
Also, the timer for here, is tied to our frame rate, which is really cool and neat. So that's another reason why we're looking at the floor and shooting as basically not shooting.
Yeah, you really channel NES speedrunning with this game with lag reduction and that kind of stuff.
We just really like the floor. Shoutouts to whoever textured the floor in this game.
Honestly, this game, like, frame rate aside, right? This game actually looks really good for a PS3 game.
Oh no.
Yeah, these games, especially back... Ooh, that was bad.
Okay. We're okay. We made it.
But yeah, especially in the PS3 era, these weren't the biggest budget games, so they would reuse a lot of stuff, but they would just put everything, so much into every single game that it really just, worked out at the end.
This is my favorite boss. His name's Hassan. He's just a giant Diptera, basically. That's very angry. And can regenerate. Yeah. So he is who we need the grenade launcher for, because what the game wants you to do, which you'll see Asagi reminding you of constantly. Oh, nice. He's landing immediately, that's good. Yeah, when right before he touches the ground here, we are gonna shoot him with the grenade launcher. And that puts him in a stun, and then this is the rest of the boss fight, basically.
Yeah.
If not, he does a lot of shenanigans flying around, and he likes to perch on top of the buildings, and he will regenerate.
Use the sniper rifle.
That's definitely what I'm doing.
Now just rando chatters coming into your stream thinking they know how to play the game better than you. Also, shout out to Matza for this strat, which he came up with for Dead Souls, because at some point during this fight, Basan will summon in some zombies, and those are just a nightmare to deal with on Dead Souls, so it was a godsend for that difficulty, but it's also faster on 80%.
Yeah, if you actually let him land on that building without interrupting his animation, you'll get a scene and he will scream and summon a bunch of zombies.
Seeing those ranks, do you think Kiryu knows how to dab?
There would likely be a sub-story about it, considering Yakuza 6 has a sub-story about cabidoning.
Yeah.
I love that one.
It's so good.
Oh yeah, I don't know if we, I actually do apologize, I forgot where the second break was gonna be, but this is a natural break in the run.
Yeah, if you'd like, we can count down and pause the timer to take our second wellness break, just so we can get up, get some water, take care of ourselves. So go ahead and count us in for a pause.
Well, I guess maybe we should just do it right after this part.
Yeah, that'll work. Just let me know.
Okay. But this part is like an on-rails. We're just riding through the tank. And on easy, you don't actually take very much damage at all, as you can see. So we don't really have to shoot any of these zombies. We just but yeah, we're just looking down to save as much frame rate as possible while we get to the next part.
Oh my goodness, the explosions.
Yep. all of it drops the FPS.
Yep. There was a point when we were playing as Ryuji where he went from shooting like, 5 bullets a second to like 1 bullet a second, basically.
Yep. I may have phased out for a second there. Did we talk about the differences between this on any percent and Dead Souls difficulty?
Not yet, but yeah, basically on Dead Souls difficulty, this part is very scary. You have to participate, and not only participate, but you need to participate well, because if you don't, you will run out of health and die. The tank will explode. But a cool thing is apparently the tank somehow inherits whatever armor Kiryu is wearing, the tank is also wearing. Don't ask me how that works, but
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, another meta discovery, by the way. Also for Dead Souls, where that kind of thing is very important because you take a lot of damage from this.
yeah, you can't see him right now because we're looking down, but we actually have a Unrocky slamming the ground beside us. And he is very deadly on Dead Souls difficulty, which is why, thankfully, Metza found the armor, because if not, it's really hard to stun lock him on this part. As yeah, like Garlic was saying, we take so little damage, we don't need to participate, but what the game wants you to do here is they want you to look at the Onraki and basically shoot his weak spot enough, and he gets stunned, so he doesn't slam the ground. But we basically just say we don't care.
Which is honestly a fair response with how little damage you actually take.
Yeah, also, the health bar here is fake. Even if you kill him here, he doesn't actually die, he still will hit you. And then when you find him coming up, he has his health magically back.
What participation looks like. Oh my god, that narrow
Yeah.
street.
Yeah, but right around here, he'll start chasing after us. So at this point, I do want to start shooting just to try to interrupt him.
Yeah, he does
Actually,
this really... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to ask, like, if you need to restart the PS3 at any point, we can do another wellness break, but if you think you're good to go, we actually don't need to do that if you'd like.
Oh, if you're good, then it should be fine.
Okay. Yeah, that works for us. If you do feel like the PS3 might need to be restarted, just let me know. And we'll be all set.
It should be fine because we
Yeah,
did
it
it
should
once.
be fine.
Okay.
At worst, I think Garlic has a safety save after the nasty crash. We haven't found
Yeah.
that one yet. Please look forward to not only the end of the game, but also the nasty crash as well.
Yeah, but here we're basically just gonna wail on him, and that'll be the end of this. But that section where he was chasing Garlic, the reason we shoot him is he has a really annoying animation when he hits the tank, where it like kind of bobs up and then back down again and then keeps going. It kind of still keeps going while it's basically bouncing, but it does slow down a bit.
Why are you fighting Clayface? Oh my god. Look, I also wondered why we were fighting the thing before the armor broke off.
The end.
Funnily enough, in the original Japanese, this is actually called essentially Yakuza of the End. And I think, was it you, Froob, where your final split is called Frame Rate of the End?
Yup.
Yeah, so here, Kiryu is actually going to get his unique weapon now at the end of the game. Very useful. It is actually very useful. It's just like, why do we get it now? Thanks, game.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought that
the
was an
anti-
interesting decision.
I guess they just really wanted to bring in the conversation with Kiryu and Ryuji about the prosthetic arm and bringing in the prosthetic maker dude.
Oh yeah, this is where we actually learned that Ryuji got his Gatling gun arm because he says he lost his arm to Kiryu. Although if you play Yakuza 2, Kiryu doesn't like rip his hand off or anything. So I don't know what they're talking about, but that's the kind of continuity Dead Souls is working in.
Parallel universe.
So I don't know if it was mentioned, but the conversation with Ryuji there is the point of no return. The game
Yes.
doesn't say it's the point of no return, because it's going to tell you the point of no return is in a different spot when we're very much past that now. Thanks, game.
And yeah, here I'm gonna tell Ryuji to attack while I grab some extra ammo.
Yeah, we need to clear out all the enemies here, and the game only gives you basically one free box of ammo for the material rifles, which is why Garlic got more out.
The anti-material rifle, by the way, is really good. It's like a combination shotgun sniper rifle. It's ridiculous. And in all sub-stories, you actually fully level it up, and then it just shreds everything. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's great too if you have it fully leveled, or almost leveled, and take it to fight Amon. It just shreds him.
By the way, this game, I think, still has the most underwhelming amount fight in the entire series. It's just nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think OG2 is the only one that kind of comes close.
Yeah, they put him in a giant subterranean room, and at that point, you've likely gotten the fully upgraded anti-material rifle, so you can just shoot him from halfway across the room, and all he does is run around like Naruto.
Wait, what?
Oh, and use the laser. He can
Yes.
use the laser. It's certainly a fight. I recommend if you play this game to see the fight, just because it's an experience, but...
Yes, although you have to... We've not really delved into how Subterranea works, but it begins with, each character has 2 Subterraneas, and the very first one is 5 floors, and then by the time you get to Kiryu's last one, it's what, 30? 40? Something like that?
I think it's 40. It's something ridiculous. I think in total it's either like 100 or 120 floors across like every character, like put together. It's kind of absurd. Especially when it's just like the same like procedurally generated corridor over and over. It's such a shame. The newer dungeons and the more recent IDG games are a lot nicer.
Yeah, and if you want real excitement, you can do it on Dead Souls difficulty, where all the zombies will chase you constantly through the whole thing.
Because I was like, I really want to see what the Amon fight is like on Dead Souls, and sure enough, shot him from across the room, and he never to ran. So that was time well spent.
Yeah, there's a aggro right there. I do prefer to sneak past them if I can avoid shooting like that.
Oh, okay. I'm so scared. Yeah, the Molotov zombies in that room can be really bad. They can If they throw just right, the Molotovs, they can get you in a stun lock on the ground, and yeah, it's kind of miserable. You kind of just are there until you can get back up again.
Yeah, that was pretty lucky with those Molotov zombies.
Someone's asking if is that Frank West, and it's like, no. I can see the way you'd mistake it though.
Kiryu has not, in fact, covered wars. By the way, we kind of take this for granted with Yakuza games, but the soundtrack in this game is just phenomenal.
Yeah,
you know, especially given that this is a spin-off. Yeah.
Yeah, RGG always does a really nice job with the music. Even in 4.
Yeah, these soundtracks are really good.
My right ear has been greatly enjoying it.
And here they're guys from like Majima's like Yakuza family are telling us that we need to open that safe over there. And even though we know the code already, the game's like, no, you don't. You have to go find it.
Which again betrays the legacy of Resident Evil, which would let you just punch in the code if you knew it already.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah. Like it, because I recently had to replay Dino Crisis for retro achievements, and same thing, like Dino Crisis 1, if you already know the DDK puzzles or any of the vault puzzles or anything like that, just punch it all in, you're good.
Also, I think we haven't talked a lot about this game's plot, and you can kind of sum it up in 2 sentences, where a guy called Nikaido is mad that Ryuji doesn't want to be a Yakuza anymore, so he lets out a zombie infestation in Kamurocho to get him back. The logic isn't entirely clear, but that's what basically is happening here, and the person who serves as kind of a patient zero for the zombie infection is a recurring Yakuza character by the name of Hayashi, which we're actually going to see in just a little bit.
The instigator of the zombie infection and also the Hayashi crash.
I'm getting like...
Yeah, this can happen with Hermit, sadly.
Oh my god, yeah.
That Hermit is being really a giant bully.
Yep.
I had to just blow everything up.
But yeah, Hayashi, I guess, is also the patient zero of crashes in this game, because it used to be his crash was the only crash we knew of.
Yeah.
And with time, there just ended up being more and more. He just infected the entire game.
We have a theory that by summoning the dark arts and putting SSDs into our PS3s, we've been getting crashes in not just this, but other Yakuza runs as well. OG 1 and 2 have fallen prey to a couple. Not Kenzan, though.
Now we just have to go back upstairs. Basically just where we were before to get to the boss.
This room is where the IKEA term was born. Thanks to Dead Souls difficulty. On Dead Souls difficulty, that room, the zombies have 0 chill, and the furniture's literally flying everywhere.
Oh, I fully believe that. Because I looked at that room and I was just like, wow, they looked like they were about to rush you and then just kind of stood and watched you run by. But I could definitely see if they're aggroed constantly, if they are in Dead Souls difficulty, I could definitely see that room being a nightmare. Oh, he
Yeah,
does
there
run like
you-
Naruto.
He also likes anime.
Oh,
Yeah,
you'll also
he-
notice. Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, I was just gonna make another quip about he definitely has main protagonist energy there with his animations.
But yeah, I was just gonna say, you'll notice that we use this rifle for pretty much the rest of the bosses here, and I have to do a backstep after every shot because it helps, like, animation cancel the reload.
Yeah, while looking down.
Yeah.
Yet another meta discovery, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, you are correct.
Ryuji, get up off the ground. What are you doing?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that can happen during this fight. Whenever one of the grenades go off, that's when you get that sprinkler animation. Anytime Ryuji falls down, Hayashi can steal his Gatling gun, and then him taking his Gatling gun back is also another animation. In her Dead Souls difficulty record, Panda has an amazing fight here. She doesn't...
What?
Oh, that was bad.
I don't even know what happened there.
I don't even know what happened. Yeah,
There
Here
you
we go.
That's the animation I was talking about. But
That's
yeah, I was
his
just
arm
gonna
now.
say, in the Dead Souls record, Panda doesn't really get the sprinkler animation, which is really good. And very hard to do consistently.
So you might be wondering how Garlic's getting shot. Yeah, Hayashi took Ryuji's arm. Ryuji now just stands there and Hayashi shoots you. On Dead Cells difficulty, this is actually scary. And what Garlic is doing is attempting to not get Hayashi to drop the Gatling gun, because that's slow.
Yeah, that's gonna lead to the animation of Ryuji taking the gun back, and you don't want that.
Okay, good. He was focused
Oh,
on
no.
Ryuji there for a moment.
Oh
He fell.
That's unfortunate.
sometimes the game sabotages you, and you can somehow magically hit the weak spot of a few enemies through them. Hayashi being one of them.
Oh, that was a nice shot.
And this will be where we see wherever the crash will happen. The next cutscene will load in. The one after that, if we get audio only and no video, then the game is soft locked. At the end of the cutscene in the background, it will then hard lock, at which point it will crash the console. And we're good.
Nice.
We're good.
Woo!
Also, Hayashi's prototype name is Itsuki, which is a kind of yokai that invites humans to die, which again works with him being the patient zero of the zombie infection.
He also invites you around to die.
Yeah. You'll also notice here is the point of no return, which, as you can probably guess, no, it's not.
Yeah, this room we have to clear all the zombies that magically spawned before we can exit the room.
Yeah, like seriously, where did they come from? Where were they for the fight?
I'm honestly really glad that Hayashi's a one-on-one boss.
Yeah, that would have been
Yeah.
that would have been bad with zombies too.
I imagine
Yeah,
on
with
Dead
how
Souls
quickly
difficulty.
he moves.
Dead Souls difficulty, that would be a disaster.
Oh yeah, especially if and or when he takes Ryuji's gun.
Yeah. It is hard for us to stress how aggressive zombies are on Dead Souls difficulty.
We're actually going to get a bit of a demonstration of it right here.
Yeah, this bit here, this is the one part where every difficulty gets to experience Dead Souls difficulty.
Yeah.
And you will notice their eyes are glowing, and that basically tells you that they have full aggro and they are very angry.
Yeah, and that's because of the alarm we hear in the background. Oh, IKEA.
Yeah, there's the IKEA. Ooh, nice.
Yeah, nice dodge with that aggro.
Also, remember when we said that walls are kind of a suggestion in this game? You'll see that Garlic is shooting through that wall. And after this cutscene, the alarm is already broken.
It didn't
Oh
work.
no, it didn't work. Oh no.
Sometimes it works.
I'm sorry, you just shoot Ryuji through the back, no big deal.
He can
He's
take it,
fine.
it's fine.
It's funny because he complains about it, but then he doesn't move or do anything else. He's just basically yelling like, "What are you doing? Why are you shooting me?" Like,
I feel like I just really sold Garlic out because when you try something and it doesn't work in a run, at least you think, well, at least people won't know that I didn't make that work. And now, yeah, sorry, Garlic.
Oh, it's really like random sometimes because I feel like I usually aim it in the same way and it works about half the time.
so these
Also,
are. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, go. No, you go.
I was just gonna say this is Kinro and Ginro. They're basically souped up versions of the Arahabaki.
Yes, the strat in this is to let Ryuji tank everything, so it stops him from diving onto you. It's actually
He's very
genuinely
good
very
at
nice.
face tanking them.
Yesterday, I like these guys.
Yeah, they're very cute.
Go, Ryuji, fulfill your purposes on the shield. He's doing really well, for what it's worth.
He's actually really essential on Dead Souls if like you actually take a partner healing item, because if he dies here, it's very bad.
Oh.
Also, yeah, you can see that even though this is easy difficulty, Garlic's taking a lot of damage. You can, especially in the speedrun where we don't really like to get a lot of health upgrades, you can actually die even on easy in a lot of Yakuza runs.
Wow.
The boys are
Hero
mad.
is mean.
Yeah. Also, you'll see that sometimes Garlic does menu reloads, which it's a bit slower, but it is safer in a lot of situations, including this one.
This is a heal animation they do. They're not actually healing, they're just basically evenly redistributing their health to each other.
Oh.
That big smack move, the Arabakis can do that as well. That does a lot of damage.
I'm out here genuinely appreciating the fact that you have to toggle between looking at the floor to reduce slight frame drops, but also having to try to look up long enough to get a good aim, as well as like balancing animation cancels for reloads between shots. Like, actually absurd.
The true artistry of I almost said Dark Souls, of Dead Souls.
I mean, that too.
Yeah.
This is
the
prototype Nikaido.
Yeah, Nikaido, the guy who pretty much plotted this entire zombie infection.
So, Nikaido is interesting. We want him to target Ryuji so we can just freely shoot him, but sometimes he just does whatever he wants. And this is going into his second phase, which basically I will be quiet for. There's a heart that we need to shoot, and it's very sound dependent. Like, you can tell with the stereo where it is.
Oh my god. It's in front of my face. It went to the same place
He
as
went
before.
back.
So you can headshot Nikaido when he's like spawning in, but good luck figuring out where the head is.
Oh.
Excuse me, can you take damage, please?
Ooh,
So?
that is very unfortunate.
Look how much damage the
No.
blood bullets did
Aw.
on easy, unfortunately. On Dead Souls, they're an insta-kill almost.
Yeah, if you get caught in it, you're dead.
But yeah, if he doesn't take enough damage there when he's like a floating heart, you unfortunately can't skip this because he gets like HP gated. And then he turns into this thing.
Oh, hello, Nemesis.
He's just angry because he doesn't have legs.
Oh yeah, Panda actually showed us the actual character model for this guy. Nothing from the knees down.
Oh my god. I mean, why would he need them?
True, true. But yeah, so
Oh, yeah,
this
this-
is Nikaido's. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say that this part's pretty simple. You just basically shoot him until you get his health blue bar halfway, and then you get this part where Kiryu suddenly has the hair.
Good luck hitting
Well,
these
yes.
CPs on hard or higher, by the way, without doing some
Yeah.
tricks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We have to pause buffer with the X and B button. Alright, now he's really angry.
He's just throwing a bit of a temper tantrum, that's all.
So
I thought the
basically what
baby
we
rage
want
section
here...
was like 2 hours ago.
Yeah. Once his green health bar here is depleted, then it'll basically go to the next section, his next phase. There we go. He's really...
Yeah, he's being really aggressive. Oh yeah, and you'll see I just backed up there for a tiny bit because in this next part, Asagi's gonna give us some grenades. And we're gonna throw some into his mouth. So you wanna be already in front of his face.
Yeah, it's actually one of the, like, few times where it leaves you right where you were before, so you want to be facing forward so you can just immediately throw the grenade.
And right there, you also see a demonstration of how slow it is to aim
Yeah.
up in this game.
And then we're gonna be given a missile launcher as well. And when we aim the missile launcher, there will be a QTE, and time is actually on the final input of that QTE.
I cannot stress how much this game is not Resident Evil.
I just love that it fakes you out with, like, you know, hey, here's the rocket launcher. Ah, that's just great. Then, haha, got you.
Yep. Nice touch.
Never guess where the weak spot is.
Yeah, time will come up soon on the next QTE press. So it's just coming up now.
Time.
GG.
GG.
Thank you.
That's all.
GG.
Very, very good run, Garlic.
Thank you. Yeah, I love this
No,
game.
very good.
That was a very, very fun run.
That was a sub 240. That was a 239.51. That's actually.
Oh wow,
kinda
really?
nuts.
For like a marathon
Yeah.
showing, that's really, really good.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
very good.
My record PB is 237, 36 or 50
Yeah.
something.
Something, I think.
237, almost 238.
Yeah, 237.53.
Yeah.
So being that close, like, especially with all the RNG that can go horrifically wrong in this game, great run.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, the Oikazuchi Omega, named after the Ikazuchi, which are gods formed from the creator deity's rotten corpse, according to my research. Again, Nikaido is the one who started this whole infection, so it makes sense.
Also, do y'all have any shout-outs you'd like to make as we start to wrap up here for the evening?
Shouts to God.
Thank you. I was actually just gonna say, I really appreciate Nono and Froob and Panda being here. I look up to them so much because ever since I started learning Yakuza runs, I've learned basically everything I know from them and some other people in the community.
Oh, that's nice of you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's been really great to see Garlic. Garlic's gotten to be such a great, not just speedrunner, but also a streamer. Always love to see her live, so definitely drop her a follow. She does a lot of this. She'll hopefully do a lot more of this in the future.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely go give Garlic a follow. I just put her Twitch link in the channel chat for folks who are on mobile or who aren't lurking right now. And also, shout outs to you for putting me in touch with Garlic, because I was like, oh,
Yes.
I can't message her on Discord. How do?
Always. Anything to help more runners in the Yakuza community get the spotlight.
Yeah, thank you again, Froob and Nono in particular for being up this late, and also Panda for fantastic commentary alongside these two, and Garlic, thank you so much for this excellent run. This was everything I had hoped it would be, considering it's the Yakuza series.
Yeah.
And my knowledge I've absorbed in osmosis from watching speedruns of the other series, or the rest of the series, so this did not disappoint. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
Play Dead Souls.
Yes, please
Yes,
play this
please.
game.
Definitely, I think this game is probably an experience worth having. So you can appreciate what it tried to do along with what the series has done since. But I want to thank you all for being here tonight, and please, reminder to look after yourselves and your loved ones. Drink some water, stretch your legs, eat a snack, take your medicine or your vitamins if you need to. And remember that you are valid and you deserve the best, and the world is a better place with you in it. If you missed out on As Seen on TV or Passion Project tonight, stay tuned as we replay both of these shows after this, and GDQ's next live broadcast will be this Sunday, March 9th, for the kickoff of Frost Fatales. So go check out the schedule for that, use exclamation point FF in Twitch chat if you want to see and plan out your week of Frost Fatales watching. So that being said, I will be on again next show is Friday the 28th at 10 p.m. Eastern, where I'm gonna be featuring Bubzia doing Super Mario 64 70-star blindfolded, and Supersonic will be on to do Super Mario Bros. 3 any percent no warps, or I believe it's the glitchless category actually. So.
Oh!